Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're looking at running for president again.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red cake.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will not become president.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president.
Moderator, but apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to.
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at...
We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination.
So, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Donald Trump, while we project, will win in Kentucky with its 8th electoral votes, in Indiana with its 11th electoral votes, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio, Idaho, North Carolina.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Together, we will make America great again.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to CobraCast IRL. I am your host, D-Day Cobra, and we got a lot to talk about. I'm back in Orlando. I'm back at Geeks and Gamers HQ. Had a long day of traveling, but I was able to catch up on a little bit of the news. Some of the other stuff I haven't quite caught up on, but I'm sure you guys are going to help me. But the snake pit always rises up. That's right. I see all of you in the chat. I see all of those emojis. That's what's up. Hello, everyone. I missed you all, but we're back. We're ready to rock and roll. And I'm ready to talk about all the craziness going on. I legit cannot even stand to be on Twitter right now because the stupidity is all off the charts from these fucking freaks. Like, it is unbelievable. And it's just, the takes are horrendous. And it shows you how mental illness truly has taken over this country in a severe way. This is probably the worst example of mental illness we have seen. This has exposed so many people and their deranged, lunatic ways of viewing the world. The fact that you have people out there trying to justify or sympathize in any way, shape, or form what we saw in Nashville is the height of just mental illness and psychos showing you exactly who they are. I mean, it is absolutely insane. But we're going to talk about that. We also have a really cool interview, I think, that Trump did with Sean Hannity. I'm not necessarily a Sean Hannity fan myself, but it was a decent interview. We got some really good info from Trump, so we're gonna react to that. We got some stuff from Tucker Carlson, but I want to see who all is here right now. I appreciate all of you being here. I see we got Gerald Armstrong in the house. We got Sir Yuzaban. We got Jace the Pop Culture Vandal. Gamer Word. Zach Attack. Sully Bach is here. Ocean Breeze Salty. Alec Baldwin's finger says, hey, yo. Hey, yo. JT is in the house. Janan is in the house. Stephen M. Kevin Cleary. Tenacious Detecting. Holly. Mrs. Jamie. Mondo. Mike. Dan Sweet. Lost Tales. What's up, Lost Tales? How do you not have a gifted membership yet, Lost Tales? As much as you get mentioned on this show. Alex is Trump 2024. Can Man modding as always. Eric K modding as always. Donkey Puncher. Antoine Soldier. What's up, Antoine Soldier? Good to see you here. Celluloid Dream says Jeremy is a fig. You can call me whatever you want as long as you super chat. What's up, Celluloid Dream? Let's see. Look at there. Valkyra. How do I say it? Valkyra Winter. 10 D-Day Cobra memberships after giving 10 earlier on the Geeks and Gamers stream. Thank you, Valkyra Winter. I appreciate you. Appreciate all of you. These memberships have been off the charts. We have so many members between here and Geeks and Gamers right now. Yeah, it's crazy. And it's not stopping. Valkyrie. You can say my name. You can never say my name right, mate. Is it Valkyria? Valkyrie? I don't know. What is that? What do I hear right now? Hang on. I hear something in my headphones right now. I don't know what I hear. I'm trying to see what I hear right now. There we go. All right, there. I turned it off. I don't know what I was just hearing right now. I have so many windows open right now, but I just heard a Fortnite stream in my ears. I had no idea what was going on. You know what, Christopher Arcella, I did say your name right the first time, and you've always given me credit. I think I was the only one. Andrew Tate's genital warts. I won't say your name. I've said your name before. I've said your name plenty of times. Valkyrie. That's not how you say Valkyrie, is it? Valkyrie? Is it Valkyrie? Whoa. No shit talking Fortnite in here, Bull Bear. Don't be trashing Fortnite in this house. In fact, you can trash whatever you want because that's what's up. I always read, Jeremy only reads super chats, so send money if you want him to read your comments. That's bullshit, Lost Tales. You get mentioned on here more than anyone, and you never super chat. And you're not a member, and you still get mentioned more than anybody. Fortnite is Dan Vask. Okay, if we're going to insult and we're going to use Dan Vask as the insult, I 100% support that. 100%. Sophie says, I never read your comments, but I do, Sophie, but I do. Anybody else want to try me? This is Drunk 3PO's stream now, January 6th. I am playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, and it's really good. I've heard good things about Resident Evil 2 Remake. I can't wait to read 4, or I can't wait to play 4. How the F do you justify the murder of innocent children, not to mention the 3 adults that were also killed by the psycho bitch? These people are sick. They are sick and twisted, and the bigger issue is that they are being embraced, and they are being motivated by the mainstream media, and we're gonna talk about that. So right now, so far we got Gerald Armstrong. It was beautiful seeing Matt Gaetz destroy Lloyd Austin and Miley today about the drag queen story hour. I heard stories about that. I haven't seen what Matt Gaetz said, but I heard about it, so I'm interested to see that. Sir Yuzavan says, pray for that bill to not pass if you want freedom. The TikTok thing has always been weird to me because I don't give a shit about TikTok. Okay. I don't care about TikTok. I know that there's this movement to like, oh, we have to ban TikTok. We have to do this. We have to do that. And it's like, I don't care about that. I don't care about TikTok. It can exist. People can be on it. I don't care. I'm not that invested in it. My thing is, this is something that when I see the Democrats unifying on any topic whatsoever, on anything, I am extremely worried. So I never cared one way or the other with TikTok. I mean, we do have like we have a Geeks and Gamers TikTok. I think I have a D-Day Cobra one. Chris has been running that one, I think. But I don't make a dime off of that. I mean, I'm sure we could make money at it, and maybe we will at some point as long as it's still there. I don't care about TikTok. I really don't. It's clearly a massive platform. There's hundreds of millions of people that are on that platform. And but now that you see that the Democrats and a lot of Republicans are now kind of unifying on this, they're never unified. I mean, look, that we couldn't even get them to acknowledge what happened in Ohio, yet they're all just ready to pounce on TikTok. And whenever the government is unified in anything, you better watch out. You better watch out, because these people are never unified on anything. And so when the rare occasion that it does happen, you better get very, very concerned. And so that's where I'm at on it. And so we're gonna listen to a few things in reference to that as well, just so we can get caught up on that. But yeah, man, I hear you on that. Jace, the pop culture vandal, says, shout out to the hero, the legend, Corn Pop. He was spotted in the Timcast chat tonight. Dude, Corn Pop doesn't care, and I love it. Corn Pop took over Tuesday night's main event last night. Once again, he took over the chat as he normally does, and I'm okay with that. Corn Pop rules. Corn Pop has everything going for him. Corn Pop just sends $1.99 super chats and is now one of the biggest legends in the entire YouTube sphere, and that's how it should be. Was Tim on fire? Tim was on fire tonight. Tim had a good show. I'm happy to hear that. Who was his guest tonight? Who was the guest on Tim Pool? JT says Iowa was not included in the roll call. I'm hurt. Yeah, you got to change that in 2024. You got to change it in 2024. Janan says, have you seen the live clip of the body cam footage? Aside from some pixels, it's unedited. I have seen it. And I got to say, like, I mean, first of all, it's terrifying. It's terrifying to look at that stuff. It's terrifying to see it. But it's also really awesome to see, you know, what he had Sean Spicer on. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's terrifying to see the cops go through a literal like school where you know that there are children. Knowing it's a private Christian school makes it even worse, just because, you know, knowing that it was targeted for that reason. But thank goodness to those hero cops. Like, seriously, thank goodness for those hero cops. And it just, I hope that person like is rotting in hell right now for eternity. Pure evil. And on that note, we're going to listen to a little bit of Tucker here in just a minute. Blue Volt guy says, can Jeremy even see my chats? Yes, I can. JT, I got that one. Janan, I got that one. Celio Dream, I got that one. Let's see, the 10 gifted memberships. Then Sully Bach says, howdy, friends, with a member message. Thank you. Julie says, can you wish my husband, Rich, a happy birthday? He's a huge fan. Well, happy birthday, Rich. I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you have a great birthday. And appreciate your wife sending $10 in, and hope it's a great one. If you watch me, if you're a fan of me, you must be a Trump guy, I would assume. So I'll give you a big Trump 2024. Thank you for that. Mav Dick. I am playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, and it's really good. We have 421 Spaceman. How the hell? Yeah, I got that one. Stalin Falcon. Take my money for $1.99. I will gladly take your money. I will gladly take it. Only if it works for you, though. I don't want you taking food off the table. Just support if you can. By the way, I heard from Jake the Viking about how much it's going to cost for me to get Geeks and Gamers to sponsor his boxing match and put the logo on his ass in his boxing match. We'll discuss that later. Going to need a lot of super chats if I'm going to be. I told him, I'm like, bro, it's a lot of money. It would be badass if he wins. So I'm like, how confident are you that you're going to win? Because if I'm going to put that type of money into this, if we're going to sponsor you, when you're boxing, you better win, bro. Like, you got to win. And it would be cool because, like, bro, if he wins and we are the primary sponsor on his shorts, and I think, like, if he wins, I think he could take this, like, further. He could end up fighting somebody, like, big time. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. GM Stillhaven, between Geeks and Gamers and here, you have nearly 500,000 members. Well, not 500,000 members, but if you want to talk about subscribers, yes, but not members. Between Geeks and Gamers and here, we have about 2,000 channel members, but yes, subscribers. If you add up all the Geeks and Gamers channels and just Geeks and Gamers and then add D-Day Cobra to that, we got 350 something on the main channel. Sports Wars has 145. So right there, boom. And then you've got this one. So what are we flirting with? Over 600,000 right there, just on those 3 channels. Then if you want to add stuff like Jay's channel, which is definitely, he's a huge member of Geeks and Gamers, Josiah, Ryan, that puts us over 1 million subscribers collectively. Then you've got channels like Tabletop, then you've got Park Hoppin', you've got the Clips channel. So Geeks and Gamers has well over 1 million from that perspective. And so while we don't have one channel that might be the big main, kind of big channel in terms of like 1 million subs across the board, we have a ton. And Poor Choices is another one. So I'm really proud of everything we have. I really am proud of everything we have. Gerald Armstrong says, own our government spies, own us. This bill is trash. Absolutely. Jedi J May, my gamer flag hoodie came in safe and sound. Been wearing it a lot with the rain in SoCal that we've been getting. Hail the Snake Pit. Hail CobraCast. Hail Friday Night Tights. Love you, brother. Thank you. I'm glad that you got this. I love this hoodie. It's a great hoodie. All right. I saw Hayden for 50. Hayden for 50 says Tim and Sean Spicer had a good back and forth about cops enforcing lockdowns. Tim said they need to be held accountable. Spicer said their bosses do. Tim was right. The Yahtzee loading people on the trains were held accountable. Spicer missed it. All right, good stuff. I mean, look, as I've said, I don't like Tim Pool. I like Tim Pool's show. And I typically try to watch his show, especially when he has an interesting guest or something like that on. So I'll probably will check it out. I was traveling right around the time it probably started, and then I got here, and then I had to get ready for the Fortnite stream. But I will tell you guys this. I'm considering moving some of my schedule around so that I can bump up the time of CobraCast and get it a little easier for so many people to watch a little earlier in the evening. I know that midnight Eastern is it's a good sweet spot for me, but I think it could be even bigger and better if we get it on an earlier time slot in the evening. So I am actively working on that. It's going to take a little while because my schedule is pretty hectic, but I definitely want to do that because I've heard from so many of you. And I know that there's no single decision that I'm going to make that's going to make everyone happy. I'm fully aware of that, but I've heard from enough of you that you really, really do want me to try and move the time up a little bit. So I am actively working on this. I do love the time slot myself. So again, I'm into feedback. So the more feedback I get, the better I can make an educated decision that's going to be the most beneficial. So thank you, Hayden. Appreciate you, brother. Hayden Wayne in the house. Sophie says, hail. Question. Why is there a hate on Samus? Blasphemy. A hat. Oh, a hat. You said hate. I think you meant hat. I think I just said it there because I didn't have anywhere to put it. But you're right. You did say hate on there, but you meant hat. I'll take the hat off Samus. Okay, deal? Yeah, I see you, Sophie. A hat. I meant a hat. I got you. I'll take the hat off because you're right. Samus deserves respect. I got you. Let's see. Valkyria. Winter. Remember, hit the like and give Jeremy crap. I'm going to say V Winter. How about that? We're going to say V Winter. V Winter. Kal-El or Kaya L says, hail V Winter. Thank you for the gifted membership. Alec Baldwin's finger. The TikTok bill has anti-VPN language in it. Oh, yeah, it does. I mean, I've already heard about it. And let me see. USA says Trump 2024 can't wait first time voting. My first time voting was for Trump in 2016. So that's pretty awesome. Kennel the Cricket. My eyes has returned. Where are you at, Jeremy? On the left or the right? It's hard to focus. What the hell? Hi, Ice 007. I'm a socialist turf, and I hate what the left has become. I think every normal thinking person has. I do. I do. I really do. All right. With that said, let's get into the topic, the main topic. If you are just tuning in, welcome to the Snake Pit. My name is D-Day Cobra, Jeremy. Maybe you know me as Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. I'm happy to have all of you here. This is CobraCast IRL, the #1 YouTube show with IRL in the name, the #1 live stream. This is a fact, okay? CNN reported the numbers. We are the #1 IRL stream on YouTube. CNN reported it. You know you can trust what they have to say. Swig of water for the working man. Hayden! For 20. I have a 10-hour drive in about 4 or 5 hours. I got to sleep. This time slot is difficult, but you do you. You do want chat wants. I just show up when I'm being stupid or I can. Hey, man, I hear you, Hayden. Get some rest. A 10-hour drive in 4 or 5 hours is rough, so go get some sleep, brother. Chat, wish Hayden a safe trip because that's a tough drive right there. I hear you on that, man. So chat, Snake Pit, wish our boy Hayden well wishes and a good, safe trip. Bruh is back, and bruh super chats $4.99 and says, bruh. He's back. Who was that? Somebody asked about bruh last night, and bruh's back in the house. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. All right. So let's share the screen really quick. Here's what we got. We got some Tucker Carlson. I thought this was a really good video from Tucker. And the title of this is "The Trans Movement is Targeting Christians." That is something that a lot of people in the news are not wanting to talk about. It's something that has been a disaster on Twitter. It has been rough. Hayden says, nah, I'm chilling for a bit. LOL. Stupid. Like I said, I'll be fine. Make sure you're safe, brother. As somebody that does a lot of driving, I get it, man. Driving is, driving can, you can just have all the sleep in the world. And like, I'm the type of person, I'll lay in bed and I can't go to sleep. And then the moment I start driving, I'm like an hour in and I'm like, why am I sleepy? I'm going 70 miles an hour down the interstate and I'm getting sleepy. It's so weird. It's such a weird thing. But here we go with Tucker Carlson and all of this nonsense right here.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. It was just last week that we noticed that parts of the transgender movement seem to be getting militant and possibly dangerous. We did a whole segment about it on Thursday night. That segment was sparred by an NPR segment we had heard and never expected to hear. NPR is always, as a matter of editorial policy, completely opposed to civilian ownership of firearms, with the possible exception of maybe IRS agents. Yet here suddenly was that very same station, National Public Radio, positively urging trans people to buy guns, as many guns as possible, and if necessary, to use them. The world is dangerous, explained one trans gun owner. You have to be dangerous back. And that seems strange to us. Is the United States really a dangerous place for trans people? Well, West Baltimore is dangerous. You could easily get murdered there. But if you're trans in this country, obviously there are many downsides, but there do appear to be some benefits. It's a lot easier to get into Harvard, for example. It's definitely easier to get a job at Citibank or in the Biden White House. If you're transgender can so much as fly a kite, the Pentagon will happily make you an F-35 pilot, just so Hollywood can make a movie about it.
And that's what I'm talking about. They are actively encouraging mental illness. It's being encouraged and celebrated. How many times on Twitter have you seen some account that's accusing you of being racist or sexist or homophobic or whatever? You look at it and their bio celebrates mental illness and their bio celebrates all of the things they have wrong with them. And why is something like that happening? It's happening because they're encouraging people to embrace any issue they have, just fall deeper into it. That's what they're doing. That's how disgusting it is. It's sick and twisted stuff. And it goes all the way to the fucking White House.
Identifying as trans, whatever, again, its downsides, does convey status in this country, which is why so many young people now do. Not a lot of 19-year-olds are pretending to be car mechanics or linemen for a regional power company in Eastern Ohio, but plenty of college freshmen do pretend to be members of the opposite sex. And why wouldn't they? The people in charge despise working-class whites, but they venerate the trans community. People are just responding to incentives. It's rational in a way. But that does not explain the anger that we heard in that NPR segment. Why are some trans people so angry, and why do they seem to be mad specifically at traditional Christians?
Because they're being told that they're under attack. And it's the same oppression Olympics nonsense that we've been seeing for a while. Do you understand how... Do you remember before the 2020 election? Guess what the biggest trends on Google was? And you can look this up. This is a fucking fact that cannot be denied. Guess what one of the biggest trends was leading up to the 2020 election? Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. It's interesting how when there's no election, there's no discussion about Black Lives Matter. There's no discussion about police brutality. There's no discussion about how dangerous it is for black people to walk around in the streets. There's no discussion about that. You know when that discussion is going to start? It's going to start before an election. Look at the trends. The trends are there. The facts are there. That's when the discussions happen because they're trying to motivate people to being angry. They're trying to force people to be angry. They're trying to force animosity. It's the same thing that you're seeing with this. They are taking people that have a mental illness and they are trying to make them even more angry and more unhinged. And instead of getting them the help that they need, they're just pushing them a little bit closer to the edge. That's what's happening.
We can't think of any trans person who's ever been murdered by a pastor. As far as we know, that has never happened. So it's not an actual threat of violence from Christians that's inspiring some trans people to buy AR-15s. No, it's got to be more fundamental than that. And it is. The trans movement is the mirror image of Christianity and therefore its natural enemy. In Christianity, the price of admission is admitting that you're not God. Christians openly concede that they have no real power over anything, and for that matter, very little personal virtue. They will tell you to your face that they are sinful and helpless and basically absurd. They're not embarrassed about any of this. They brag about it. That saved a wretch like me, goes the most famous Christian hymn ever written in English. The trans movement takes the opposite view. Trans ideology claims dominion over nature itself. We can change the identity we were born with, they will tell you with wild-eyed certainty. Christians can never agree with this statement because these are powers they believe God alone possesses. That unwillingness to agree, that failure to acknowledge a trans person's dominion over nature, incites and enrages some in the trans community. People who believe they're God can't stand to be reminded that they're not. So Christianity and transgender orthodoxy are wholly incompatible theologies. They can never be reconciled. They are on a collision course with each other. One side is likely to draw blood before the other side. That's what we concluded last week. Yesterday morning, tragically, our fears were confirmed. A self-identified trans person called Audrey Hale committed mass murder at a Christian school in Nashville. Hale burst into a place called the Convent School and executed 3 9-year-olds as well as 3 adults. Police have released body cam footage from the end of the massacre. We're showing you just a small part of it. You can see the rest online if you want. We're not going to show it because that's too awful and sad.
It is. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that haven't seen it, and I can totally understand why you would not want to see it because it is so difficult to see police officers having to go into a school of children knowing that there is a deranged lunatic with mental illness that is running around. And we've seen people like the Young Turks. We've seen them celebrating, and motivating trans people to go buy guns. We saw Jane Fonda calling for the murder of Christians. That happened. That actually happened. I'm not making this up. These are things that actually happened. And they're playing a role in all of this.
But what was almost as sickening to see in a far more subtle and insidious way was the media coverage of yesterday's tragedy. Here's Terry Moran of ABC News, for example, suggesting that Christians were murdered in Tennessee because they infringed on the rights of transgendered people. Watch.
Audrey Hill identified herself as a transgender person. State of Tennessee earlier this month passed and the governor signed a bill that banned transgender medical care for minors, as well as a law that prohibited adult entertainment, including male and female impersonators, after a series of drag show controversies in that state.
The state of Tennessee bans the sexual mutilation of children. Children get shot to death in a school. It's cause and effect.
I got to back up because that comment is
controversies in that state.
That comment is so perfect. Look at this dude. Look at that comment. That comment. Look at this ghoul. Look at this ghoul. That's what he is. He's a ghoul. What a fucking weirdo.
After a series of drag show controversies in that state.
The state of Tennessee bans the sexual mutilation of children. Children get shot to death in a school. It's cause and effect. That's what ABC News is telling you. That's not far from justifying mass murder, but others took the next step. A group called the Trans Resistance Network said that the shooter's death was a complex tragedy that resulted from, quote, anti-trans bias. The Hershey Chocolate Company's new trans spokesman, meanwhile, someone called Faye Johnstone, posted messages after the shooting complaining about, quote, trans misogyny. In Canada, a taxpayer-funded trans rights organization put out a statement that ignored the murder of the children in Nashville entirely and instead claimed that there has been a, quote, exponential rise in anti-trans violence. That is a lie. It's a provable lie. And in fact, the opposite is true. We seem to be watching the rise of trans terrorism.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I'm pretty sure it's a girl, a woman that put he, him pronouns as her pronouns, which again, all of this stuff is so fucking stupid. I can't keep up with it. But yes, that's what I understand as well.
The man who tried to murder Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh after the repeal of Roe v. Wade identified as a, quote, trans gamer girl. The man who shot up a nightclub in Colorado in this past November and murdered 5 people identified as non-binary. And now this. And there could be more. Antifa has announced this coming Saturday is the, quote, Trans Day of Vengeance. Vengeance for what? That's not explained. But the suggestion is there will be violence in Washington this weekend. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted about this today, because if there's a day of vengeance coming, the rest of us should probably know about it. And for doing so, immediately had her official congressional Twitter account suspended. You're not supposed to talk about any of this, apparently. And the authorities in Nashville certainly are not planning to talk about it. They're doing their best not to. Here's the police chief of Nashville explaining that, well, he's happy to talk about the shooter's guns. He's not going to tell you anything about the shooter's motives. Watch.
So in the manifesto, there's several different writings about other locations. There were locations, there was talks about the school. There was a map of the school, a drawing of how potentially she would enter and the assaults that would take place. There's quite a bit of writing to it. I have not read the entire manifesto. Our team and the FBI has been working on this.
Well, that's interesting. Within what seemed like minutes, we saw pictures of the rifles and the pistol. We now have horrifying body cam footage from within the school. So unsettling, we're not going to show it to you. But somehow we can't see the manifesto in which the killer explains why she killed. Why is that? It's not accidental. Well, you know exactly why it is. Because it would make the obvious undeniable. The trans movement is targeting Christians, including with violence. Most Christian leaders in this country don't want to admit that.
You know, I heard Patrick Bet David talk about this, And I mean, I know it's a point that I've made here on CobraCast the other night, but we give like all these billions of dollars to Ukraine, and we can't even protect our own schools here. And there are plenty of veterans, plenty of former police officers that you could put at a professional armed person with a military background or police background at every single school. And if it stops one mass shooting, then it's worth it. And I know that's kind of a cliche, like, oh, if we save one life, it's worth it. Like, this is literally worth it. Like, if you can stop any of this, it's worth it. And I guarantee you would cut back significantly on this. But Patrick Bet David, and I'm gonna bring our guest in. That would be Drunk 3PO. What's up, Jay?
What's up?
So
very sad.
I was thinking when Patrick Bet David said this, he said there's somebody that somebody could actually come in that and like an entrepreneur, and they could build a business out of this and actually work with schools directly and work with them and work out a system where they hired, former military, former police officers to work security, and they did all the clearance. And I was thinking, I'm not gonna say any names, and chat can make the assumptions, but like me and Jay know people that I was like, man, is that like, I would put anything I could behind any funding on that. So I would 100% like, and I'm going to be talking to some of the people we know about that, because somebody's got to fucking do it. So matter of fact, I want everybody to hear it. I want you to hear the part where he's talking about that. And let me pull up this valuetainment video really quick, because I think that's a huge opportunity. I really, really do. And I got to find it. Patrick Bet David is awesome. Valuetainment is awesome. How the hell are you, Jay? Did you guys win? Did you guys win?
Second place.
Okay, there you go. So hang on, let me show you guys this right here, because it just kind of stuck out to me when I heard this, man. I'm like, man, that sounds like something that could actually get done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, here it is right here. I don't know exactly in the video where it was at, but let's see right here. I love Valuetainment. Valuetainment's fantastic channel. So let's see.
Done. The door was locked. Are you guys going to do anything different? It could have been way more than 6 in 14 minutes.
Right.
Okay. It could have been way more than 6 in 14 minutes. Question was asked of one of the heads in charge, saying, hey, what could you have done? The door was locked. Are you guys going to do anything different to put a cop in front of all the doors? You can't put a cop in front of all the doors. So, the risk is going to be there. But for you to, I mean, you know how certain security you have in place to protect certain buildings that you walk in and it triggers something. There's got to be a better technology. Like, by the way, this is a great opportunity for an innovator and an entrepreneur to be looking at saying, there's a major need for this. Parents would support it. If this whatever technology you come up with, it costs XYZ amount of money, that school can go to the parents and say, hey, for this much money, we can offer this kind of protection for the schools. Are you guys up for it? Private enterprise can do it. This is a private school. Public needs to go figure out a way to address this. But if it keeps happening over and over again, there's got to be a way to address this issue here.
And why won't they? And Pat, if it keeps happening,
I mean, like, that is so on point, man. Like, if there's a way to do something like this, obviously the people that we're in contact with, I think we could do. Like, I think our community would support anything we would try to do. But I think that would be huge, man. And like, it has to happen at this point in time. Like,
well, obviously we have the money to do it because of the billions of dollars that we're sending to Ukraine.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
There's a lot of money here. I remember that was the weirdest thing. My first year as a school teacher, the week before school started, we had 2 days of active shooter training when the police came, and that was just wild to me, because we had to plan, like we had to. How do you even plan for that? Like you had to. Basically, they're like, this is the escape. This is what you should do. This is how you do this. And it's like, but how do you honestly like plan for that? It's like we're school teachers. We're not.
Well, I mean, like I talked about this. I mean, like I do not talk about my personal life at all anymore. But like I did mention, like, yes, I have a daughter, and I've had her in private schools, and I was always adamant about that. And that's why this whole thing has hit me so hard, because it's like, God, it was a private Christian school, and some psychopath just walked in there. Now, like I talked about with our meetup, I like when we did our meetup in Orlando, and like I said, like I've talked about this, and so it's just to put it out there to be transparent. Like the meetup in Orlando cost me $20,000, and I didn't charge. It was a free event. I charged nothing at the door. Everybody was welcome to come in for free. On top of that, like, or not on top of that, but included in all that, like I hired a police officer. I hired multiple police officers to be present out front to make sure that it sets a tone that if anybody is wanting to come in here and start something, we're setting a tone right now. Not only that, we also had undercover security there as well, because I wasn't going to play around with that. And all it takes is a presence that I think deters almost all these. There's always going to be a crazy person that slips through the cracks, but it's about setting a precedent. It's about setting a standard to say, we have security here, and whatever you want to try to come here and do, you're probably not going to be successful at it. You know what I mean? And so
I mean, we've had like the years that I was there, we had several, like crank calls, and someone said they're coming to do something to the school, and the police were out there, and they left a police car in the parking lot with an officer in there that stayed for about a month, after stuff like that. I mean, it can't be that difficult to do this. I mean, it really can't. But the problem is like we have people in our. Did you hear about the Arizona governor, Katie Hobbs' press secretary, that she had to resign because she tweeted that horrific? Like, how do you work for the government and tweet stuff like that is beyond me.
I tweeted it. I tweeted a screenshot out earlier right there. I said the left. I said the left. All guns are bad. Also the left. Shoot people we disagree with.
Yeah.
And it's like this is how they are. So they blame the guns for everything, and then when someone they don't like says something, that same person needs to be shot by the gun that you claim is the evil thing. You know what I mean? It's like these people are nuts. People are nuts.
That meme was awful. It was like, you saw it. It was like a woman holding two pistols saying, "This is what we do to transphobes." And you're just like, it's unbelievable. The clown world that is our country right now.
Yeah.
And it just, it's really sad.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that this is going to be a big wake up call for a lot of people. That's how I feel. I feel like this is going to actually wake a lot of people up to, like, this is a serious problem. Mental illness is a serious problem. Mental illness should be addressed. It should not be celebrated. And we should not be in a position to where we're talking down about mentally ill people. But unfortunately, the media has decided, the media, Hollywood, big tech, all of them, they have decided to weaponize people's mental illness. They have weaponized it. They're using mental weakness, and they're using it to push their propaganda, because the media needs division. The media needs weak people. The media needs people that are reliant upon them. The same with, the powers that be, the Democrats, the evil politicians out there, corporations, all of that. Like, they don't need self-sustained people. They need weak people to rely on them. And that's why we're getting so much of this.
Well, that's how they, and that's how they keep themselves in office. They latch on to these crazy people, man, and they're just like, keep us in office because these other people want to hurt you and do all these things to you and take away your rights and take away kids' rights of having surgeries, like mutilation and stuff. It's wild, man, that I've lived long enough to see this time in our country while the rest of the world freaking laughs at us. They just laugh. You had the Russian president, what was it, a month ago, gave a speech about how terrible it is in this country, about how we're always fighting and we're letting like you said, the mentally ill just run amok and do whatever they want. And you're kind of like, yeah, it's like we kind of agree with Putin on that one.
This person right here says your channel is propaganda. No, your mom is propaganda because she was advertising as a good time, but it was like throwing a hot dog down a hallway, bro. Like every Tyrone in the hood has been in that thing. Okay. So why don't you cry a little more, watch the super chats roll in, and go fuck yourself since nobody else will. But I hope you stay in the comments so I can continue to monetize your stupid ass. There we go. All right. So
how's it propaganda when we're just like, we're literally looking at what is happening? We're literally looking at, and the fact that they're trying to make this person a martyr is disgusting. I mean, not the person you yelled at, but like that's pretty funny. But
mom
like,
jokes are so cringe. That's why. Not nobody said that, but I know like somebody will. Yeah, mom, it's intentionally meant to be cringe. Like,
yeah.
You are, this troll is only worth a mom joke. So I 100% know how cringe they are. I really do. And yeah, I mean, it is a hot dog down a hallway, and I'm above average, and it's still a hot dog down a hallway, So,
I'm like looking at the chat. The chat is roasting right now. That's so good.
Yeah, somebody said this earlier, which was cool.
Beard of shame.
Vicidius is chat starting to fly as fast as Timcast IRLs used to. That's what's up right here. That's what's up. Hayden earlier, I don't fucking know because we don't use real words anymore. It doesn't make sense. This is dumb. Was she born with a uterus or not? That's all that matters. Yes, she was, according to everything I have heard. Alec Baldwin's finger. He don't miss. As your resident weapons expert, that freak used a 9mm Kel-Tec in those videos. Not an AR-15. It had one, but was on a sling. There we go. So thank you, Alec Baldwin's finger. I wish we would have done the political stream today, but if Ryan not feeling good and it was supposed to be on Patriot Outpost, I really wanted to hear what Suresh has to say about all of that.
He's not. He's fired up about all this stuff too.
I can believe it. I believe it. I saw those one earlier, but I met a member of the Geeks and Gamers and Nerdrotic Fellowship in real life at work the other day. It was like meeting somebody else who's in your secret club. My workmates were like, what the fuck? I love it, man. I love it. All right. So Madi 10, Brown Gaijin, $2 for Madi 10. You fucked up. Arthur Brown. This is what happens when you come in here. Like, all you got to do is go away. But instead, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to troll you. And then that happens right there. Hayden with a hundy. Oh, Madi 10 wants to cause a scuff. Well, here's $100. Why not? Damn. This is what just happened.
Hayden.
This is what just happened to Madi.
It's going to fall again.
Damn.
Like, I don't understand what you were hoping to accomplish. Okay. I don't know what you were trying to accomplish, but this is
he wanted you to go, yeah, it's propaganda. I'm going to shut it down.
Alec Baldwin's finger just dropped 50 gifted memberships. And I have a live clip right here. This is dedicated to you, Madi.
And you sad, and I love it. You gonna cry.
Madi is really mad right now. He's crying. He gonna cry in the car. He gonna cry in the car.
They get so mad too, man.
They do. Like, I don't understand why people get so mad that other people have support
because
or
they're freaking brainwashed, man, to thinking that if this is how it has to be, and anybody else who says something differently are the enemy. Like we're like freaking like enemy of the people. It's so bizarre that's the thinking that they have. Like I said, like they're making this horrific, deranged person. They're trying to make him or her, whatever the freak he is, guy with udders or uterus, like have like making a martyr out of this
Udders.
person, man. It's like I can't believe that.
Like the thing,
be mad
for 50.
Can't do it like Bearder, but Bearder.
Did you hear? I didn't tell you earlier when you called me, but so I talked to Jake today. I got the quote on what it's going to cost to put Geeks and Gamers on his ass shorts for the boxing match. I just said, I was like, bro, are you gonna win? Like, are you gonna fucking win? You know, because I'm like, I want to back a winner here. So I don't know. He feels very confident about it. So we're gonna see. Now back to the point at hand here. Shout out to Mighty 10 for being a complete pork wallet and just getting absolutely roasted. I mean, Jay Hellstorm, like, I mean, it would be kind of funny to just take his stupid, like, standard profile picture there.
Beard of shame.
Put the beard of shame on. Oh my God. That would be pretty funny, actually. You may not agree. I think the Dems and the Rhinos don't want to protect children because they want to use tragedies to take your God-given rights of 2A. They don't care about the children, nor do they care about most people. I don't necessarily agree. I don't disagree with you. Like, I think this is why people, when I know I get labeled as a Republican or a conservative, and it's like, and maybe I am more of a conservative in terms of like my how I think about things and my views, but I view myself as a free-thinking, independent person, not an independent by the standard of I label myself an independent in terms of the political landscape. I'm just saying I'm a free-thinking individual, and I will vote for whoever I think is going to do the maximize the best opportunities. That's why I basically was down ballot Republican when I voted for Trump in 2016, because I was like, I'm supporting Trump. Trump's a Republican, and I hope to maximize that. I typically hate the Republican Party because I feel like most of them are made up of people like the Bush family, they're Lindsey Grahams of the world. And, I don't trust most politicians, really any politician, to be clear. There's a few that actually are cool. Like Matt Gaetz, I think he's got some baggage, but he's pretty, like, when he was on Tim Pool a few months ago, Matt Gaetz seemed like a regular guy when he was on Tim Pool. He was so down to earth. You know what I mean? There's obviously, like, Ron and Rand Paul, but they're so few and far between, man. I think politicians generally are all evil, and all crooked and all slimy and all of that. That's why, like, I loved when Trump was on stage. And I've repeated this before, but I love when he was on stage and they were like, you paid for Hillary, or you had Hillary Clinton at your wedding. I was like, I gotcha. And he's like, of course I did. I gave her money and she showed up. Just like all of you would show up. Just like you. I supported your campaign. Yada, yada, yada. And they're just like, they had nothing. Because he's like, I paid for all of you. Politicians could be bought and paid for. I can't be bought and paid for. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this. This is amazing. But
I just want like a common sense candidate, like at this point, but I don't think they exist.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this is common sense, man.
I mean, I am a huge fan of Trump, and I do think that
I don't put him in the politician category whatsoever.
I don't.
He's
either.
Like over here.
Technically, he's not. I mean, I guess technically he is, but I don't put him in that category. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I look at it too.
But I look at him as, he's a disruptor. He whatever you want to call that stuff, that's what he is. Politician is pretty far from like what he is. And DeSantis, like, if you lived in Florida, he's the closest thing to like common sense person that we've had. But his last interview was
The recent stuff, listen, man, the
That's
DeSantis
bad.
stuff is concerning.
Yeah, very much.
Like the ties to the Bush family.
It's just a playbook. Yeah, it's he was just going off like the Republican Party playbook.
Yeah,
So
the Bush family ties, and if Karl Rove is involved in his campaign, that is
yeah,
a
man.
major red flag, dude. Holy crap.
I agree.
And again, that's all hearsay. I know that there was a guy on Fox News that it said that was going on. I don't think that's necessarily been confirmed, but when you start adding the pieces of the puzzle, considering Jeb Bush hasn't been out there like fully endorsing him. The fact that he said George H. Walker Bush was like his political hero or something like that. We know the Bush family hates Trump, despises Trump. So it's a bad, I feel very, I feel blindsided by the DeSantis thing, because the more and more it looks like he probably is just another slimy politician. And that is very sad, because like, I mean, let's listen, like the Trump thing right here. I buy everything Trump said about DeSantis to Sean Hannity. I don't know if you heard that.
I heard it. I've been watching it carefully because I really do like DeSantis a lot.
Yeah.
Especially like he did some incredible things during the lockdowns and stuff that, thank God I lived in Florida, like when all that stuff happened. But
yeah,
the more that he talks in these interviews, it's like, man,
it ain't good. It ain't good.
Just stay in Florida, man. Just stay in Florida.
I as a Trump fan, DeSantis, the way I got familiar with DeSantis was Trump. And when Trump put him over, that's when he got put on my radar. And the way Trump is telling this sounds exactly like it went down. So here we go.
Welcome back to Hannity, as we are in beautiful Palm Beach, Florida, where I sat down with former President Donald J. Trump earlier. Take a look. The question I'm asked the most about you of late is Ron DeSantis. This is the question. What happened? I thought they were friends. What happened?
Not friends. I didn't know him well, but he was on impeachment hoax #1 and impeachment hoax #2, which I won.
Defending you.
He was one of 150 people that would go on television and defend me. And he was no Jim Jordan. He was I had a lot of people that really defended me great, but he was good and he defended me. So all of a sudden he's running for governor, and people didn't view him as governor because, he was a congressman defending, and they didn't view him as governor. And he announced he was running for governor, and he wanted to get my support. Now, I didn't know the person that was running, named Adam Putnam. He was the Secretary of Agriculture, which is actually the second highest position in Florida. It's a big deal. Agriculture is very big, and it goes back 100 years and all of that. But agriculture is very big, very high official and popular. Adam Putnam. And what happened, but I didn't know him. And I knew Ron a little bit. I didn't know him very well, but I knew him a little bit. I knew him as somebody that defended me. So what happened with Ron is the following. He came to see me. He was getting killed. He was being crushed. Adam Putnam, it was over. I have many people that
He was crushing him. There is a funny part that Trump goes basically full Trump. He's like, with tears in his eyes, he begs me.
Yeah.
I'm like, Trump, you just always got to add that extra to it. It's so damn
that
funny.
worked for Adam Putnam. They said it was like I hate to use this expression. It was like a nuclear weapon went off when you endorsed, because they considered the race to be over. They had the race. He had millions and millions of dollars, and he was way up in the polls. He was beating Ron by 30 points or so. It was over.
He was beating Ron pretty
Ron
bad.
came to see me, tears in his eyes.
Tears in his eyes, dude. Like, Trump just has to be just like Trump. He can't just tell the story. Like, he's got to add the salt and pepper to it. I love it, though.
I need you to do me a big favor. First he asked for the meeting, then he asked me for the favor. I said, what's the favor? Would you endorse me? I fought for you. But again, a lot of people fought for me. You fought for me only rightfully, but you fought for me if you thought I was right. A lot more than he did. But he said, I need your endorsement. I said, Ron, you're so far behind. I can't imagine that if you got George Washington's endorsement combined with the late great Abraham Lincoln, if you had their endorsements, I don't think you could win, Ron, but tell me about it. Go ahead. He said, I'm telling you, I think I could win if I could get your endorsement. And you'll have to check the records, but many, many, many points. It was over. And the nomination
And it was a very close race.
The nomination was just, okay. I said, let's give it a shot, okay? You defended me. Adam Putnam didn't, one way or the other. I think he's probably a nice guy. I never met him until later. A year later, I met him. He said, when you did that, it was like a rocket went up. He said, my race was over. They were already buying furniture for the governor's mansion. They were going to win. So I said, let's give it a shot, Ron, okay? And he was desperate. I said, okay. I gave him a nice endorsement. I said, you write out what you'd like and let me see it. He wrote it out. I thought it was terrible. I changed it. And I gave him a great endorsement. From the moment I pressed that button, he blew the guy away. The race was over. They never even got to spend their money. Then I had to get him against the star of the Democrat Party. It was going to be Stacey Abrams. And now we call him a crackhead because that's what he was, a crackhead.
His name, Gillum.
Gillum. And there was no way Ron was going to beat Gillum. So he got the nomination, but there was no way because this guy was going to be the future of the Democrat Party. And I said, Ron, you can beat this guy. Let's go. I got him the nomination. By the way, could have never gotten the nomination. He would be working in either a pizza parlor place or a law office right now. Okay. And he wouldn't
pizza
be very
parlor.
happy.
It's about loyalty.
It's about loyalty. It is to me. Okay. Let me just. So what happens is I did stops. I had thousands of people going to rallies. My rallies in history, there's never been rallies like this. I don't just mean in this country, I mean in any country. You just take a look at Waco, Texas from just last night. You just take a look. It was unbelievable. And by the way, that's on like 3
Are you really beating?
Why is he talking? He's talking about.
I know it's like
rallies. Trump can't. He can't just focus
help
in on the.
himself.
He's got to start bringing his rallies into and all that. But he's almost done here.
Taylor Swift, by the way.
Yeah, I did. The J6 is beating Taylor Swift. It's Donald Trump and the J6
You
prisoners.
the Pledge of Allegiance.
On iTunes and on Amazon and on Billboard, which is the big deal. #1, Donald Trump. So now I feel like Elvis because now we've done The Apprentice. That was a great success.
He bringing up his TV.
Now I've done the recording or whatever you call it. But no, it was #1. And you know what that is? That's a tribute to the fact that people feel the J6 people have been very unfairly treated. Just to finish up with DeSantis. So I said, let me do a couple of rallies. I did a couple of rallies, 2 or 3. Massive rallies, massive. I said, you're going to win, Ron. I don't think so. He's a star. I said, you're going to win, I'm telling you. And he ends up winning. And then a couple of years later, they say to Ron DeSantis, will you run against the president? And he said, I have no comment. I have no comment. And I looked at the people I was with. I said, that's not supposed to happen. Here, I got him the nomination. And I don't mean I got him because you know what? I help a lot of people. A couple I absolutely made. I helped the governor of Georgia, and I would.
So that's kind of the gist of it right there. Trump's so damn funny.
That's just what he does.
Oh, he's a master. He's a master showman, and I don't know what I talked to Ryan about this. About like I've always liked Trump. I've always found him to be a fascinating person. I can't figure out like what exactly it is about him that just makes him a magnetic personality. Like I don't think there's anybody like him. Like no matter what room that guy walks into, he's the most important guy in the room. And that was the stand. That was before he became president.
Oh, he's charismatic, and it's off the charts, man.
It's insane. I mean, he is the star of stars, and he has been. So
he's not politically correct. He'll say whatever he wants. He doesn't care, and he thinks he's the funniest, charmingest, best salesman in the room, and that's how he walks into everything. So, like, that's just how it is, man.
I will say I have been a little worried about his energy of late, but he seemed very on point right there. So it seems like he's kind of getting back in his groove because like when he made this announcement, I mean, guy's 76, 77 years old. You know what I mean? So he's up there. You know what I mean? But
you don't become a billionaire just, I mean, the dude became a billionaire. So
Well, I mean, Hannity asked him also about like that though, and I think this was an interesting answer because this to me, like, people, I'm trying to find it right now, but like people, yeah, here it is. This is what, when people say Trump is, oh, he only cares about himself. Trump is an egomaniac, no doubt about that. Okay, he's an arrogant, ego-driven person. He brags on himself and all of that. But at its core, like, he's a billionaire. Before he got into politics, he was a billionaire. He could live the rest of his life like a king. He could do whatever he wanted. He had anything he wants, but he chose to do this. So this question right here was pretty interesting that Hannity asked him, and I think this kind of directly applies to what I was just saying.
Let me ask you this. You talked about age, so let's forget age. Nikki Haley, she's running for president. Suggests if you're over 75, a cognitive test.
Well, I've already taken it. I do it. I do it again.
You do it again.
I went to Ronnie Jackson, who was the great guy,
about it.
White House doctor, now congressman, former admiral, fantastic.
Would you do it again?
Oh, I do it now. But I think I'd take it a step further. I don't think it's an age thing. I think a person running for president, you could even say running for certain offices if you want to know the truth. Now, I don't know if it's constitutional, because people would say it's not constitutional. But I would say that if you could do it, but I'd like to see it for anybody running for president. I think somebody from running for president taking a cognitive test, they do it in China, but it's done a different way. They have a caste system, and the smartest person gets to the top.
I'm glad they don't have a talk show host and the media people and people in the press.
You've proven yourself.
All right, it's some fun questions. We're going to just change pace a little bit, just a few of them, not many.
Sure.
Should Biden replace Kamala Harris?
He's going to have a hard time doing so. A big percentage of his party will fight him on it. It's hard to believe, but they will fight him.
Okay.
I think he's going to have a very hard time doing it.
What does Donald Trump miss the most about being president?
That I could do so much. I'll give you an example. When I said I could fix this war in Ukraine in 24 hours, but you can only do it from the presidential seat. You can't do it. Let's say he sent me over as an emissary. You can't do it. You have to be in that position.
You have to be the guy.
I would fix that within 24 hours. And if I win, before I get into the office, I will have that war settled. 100% sure. And everything I said has turned out to be right. Everything it has turned out to be right.
So you have a great life now. Besides
other than
the
being
legal
investigated
issues.
by every prosecutor in America. If I fly over,
right, you're prosecuted.
I jokingly say, but if I fly over, I get prosecuted by. I have to go to a grand jury the next morning.
Putting that aside, I would say Donald J. Trump has a great life in Florida, in Mar-a-Lago, plays golf, has golf courses. I know people that have played with you, some of the most famous and best golfers of all time have played with you. Why give all that up to make this next run? Why?
Because I think our country is dead. We're a failing nation, and I think we're going to fail completely. We're a nation in decline. I use the term. It's a horrible term.
Hey, Sean Hannity.
That's it, man. Like, this dude don't have to do this. He don't have to do it. He's doing it because, and I believe him. I believe he could have this war stopped in 24 hours if he has the power. And that's why I love the dude, man. That's why I love the dude. So, yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. Maybe DeSantis can course correct at some point in time. Maybe he can fall in line and understand that 2028 would be his year. But I don't know.
We have to do something because something's got to change. Like one of the biggest stories that happened, no one's talking about. I don't know. Did you know that China brokered a deal for peace in the Middle East?
Yep.
And because of that, they want to stop using the US dollar and just focus on the Chinese currency. And China just did a deal yesterday or today with Brazil for the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like they're making moves while we're all fighting the dumbest, you know what I mean? Like, wait, these other countries they're not waiting for us. So it's like they're putting themselves in for a power play to be the new big, where the US dollar used to be. I've been around the world, twice.
Mhm.
It's like you could use the US dollar anywhere.
Yep.
People will take it. And now it's going to get to the point where it's like, yeah, we don't want that anymore. We don't want that. You need to have Chinese currency if you want to do business. But I mean, like, if the Middle East drops the US dollar and starts using the Chinese dollar for people don't understand how dangerous that is. So it's that. And now if like they're going into these other countries and just saying, hey, we'll give you a better deal, just use our money, things like that, then America can do for you. It's like, and they're taking it. Well, I mean, why wouldn't they? If the administration who we have now is making our country a laughing stock, it's making our money worthless, and it's like, why would anybody want to do business with us? It's like, it's crazy. While our national debt is skyrocketing beyond control, and they want to keep it like, you look at states like California and like what they're like,
It's unbelievable.
some of the stuff that I just can't believe it that they want to spend money on it's late, man. It's like 1:30 in the morning. Like that bill, like in San Francisco, and just some of the other thing, and then their homeless problem is out of control. But they're paying for children to. I'm trying to be YouTube friendly. You know what I mean? Like,
Fucking say it. It's fine.
They're paying for children to have to transition, and they're welcoming people into their state to do that kind of stuff. And you're like, man, our priorities are all backwards. We had, what we had today, like what we had the past 2 days, you probably didn't know. You met David. He goes by the Gay Republican on Twitter. He came to our meetup in Orlando. You met him, right? David. His name is David.
I'm pretty sure I met him.
Yeah, he was there. He took pictures with all of us there. He goes by the Gay Republican. He went to all the school boards, and if you follow him on Twitter, this past week, to get propaganda books out of our elementary schools and our school libraries. He was on the front lines with his team fighting for this. Getting pornographic stuff and all this stuff away from our children and stuff like that. And it's like, I tip my hat to him. It's like he's out there doing it. Like these books that are promoting homosexual lifestyle, it's for kids. He's like, they don't need this stuff. And he's getting like major backlash, but he's out there trying to fight the good fight and try to save our kids, man. It's just like, it's crazy.
Kids are like, I heard this earlier on Valuetainment, but I mean, it's like it went from save the kids, protect the kids to now it's like kids are just under attack in all directions, man. I mean, they're being sexualized, they're being targeted. The propaganda from places like Disney, and it's crazy. I can't imagine growing up today. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's just it's depressing.
Well, it's not only that. It's like now schools have to make a decision. If they have a girls basketball team, if they're going to play against a team that is allowing boys to play on the girls basketball team. And it's like, this is what we're fighting. We can't even identify. Our freaking government will not even identify what a biological woman or man is. Now, like, we've got people screaming at CNN and everyone else saying, you misgendered the person that killed children. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, who gives a freaking crap? Like, who cares about that? It's like, this is where we are. And while we're in here fighting with this dumb stuff, China and Russia and all these they're making power plays all over the world, right in front of us. China did it. I don't know if you heard that speech. China literally gave a speech after they brokered the deal with the Middle East, talking trash about our country, and to thunderous applause, and they were just saying, like, America's lost, man. They're gone. Like they don't care. They're drowning in debt. They don't know how to take care of their people. They don't know how to do it. Boom, 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 boom. And and what does our president do? Hey, I got ice cream in my refrigerator in my room.
You're reading my mind, because that's exactly what I was going to say. How can we expect to compete with what's going on when this is our president right here? So I know everybody's seen it, but I think it's important to play it again.
Right.
This man right here. I believe this is 3 hours after the shooting. 3 or 4 hours after the shooting. Now, he was scheduled to do some other type of press conference or whatever. That's fine. It doesn't matter. He's the leader of the free world. He's the president of the United States. Everyone was expecting him to come out in a very somber, to address the nation. This is what we got right here.
From the White House.
My name is Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden's husband. And I ate Jenny's ice cream, chocolate chip. I came down because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream. By the way, I have a whole refrigerator full upstairs. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. God. Ben, how are you, pal? One of the best guys in the United States Congress, Ben Cardin.
Son, I just couldn't believe this was real.
I know.
It's a delight to have you all here. And who are those good-looking kids back there?
Oh, nice.
They're your kids, all 4 of them? Well, stand up, guys.
John, we'll jump back in here. Considering the moment.
People are laughing.
That just happened. Left 3 children dead, 3 adults dead, shooters dead, and we were told he would be addressing this off the top.
Yeah, it's rather surprising. I thought that a somber President Biden would have come to the podium here and addressed the school shooting.
I can't believe that. Does he not have one? No, he obviously doesn't have not one person around him to say, hey, look, this happened. Get out there. You need to make a statement. No. Chocolate chip ice cream, everyone. Hi.
Those good-looking kids, stand up after we know how creepy you are with kids. There was another thing he has said too. Let me see if I can. This dude is just so out of whack right here. I think. Okay, yeah, right here. Here we go. Right here. I believe this was the same press conference.
And by the way, I'm known as America's most pro-labor senator. Well, guess what? And then as president, well, guess what? They're, in fact, increasing the number of women who are in labor unions. It's got to be. Oh, no, you think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. And by the way,
What the fuck is wrong with this man? This is the guy that they told us had got 81 million votes and is the most popular president in the history of our country. One more time, just so now we understand how fucking this is insane.
And by the way, I'm known as America's most pro-labor senator. Well, guess what? And then as president, well, guess what? They're, in fact, increasing the number of women who are in labor unions. It's got to be. Oh, no, you think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. And by the way, I'm known as.
I don't even know what it is. Man, people say I talk bad.
me and you ain't got it. Man. So that's right here. It's just like she's like, huh? I mean, it's unbelievable. It's like living a bad movie.
If he is the Democratic nominee, he should lose in a landslide. Somebody should be gathering all these clips to be making commercials right away. That clip alone, after kids were killed, when he's like, I got ice cream, everyone, that needs to be a commercial saying, here's your president. Like, it's just, I could win. I'm telling you, I could freaking run. If there was nobody left, I could beat this guy because it's just, it'll just turn into like a talking contest.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, at this point, how is this man, like, how is this man even going to debate? I don't think, I don't think he's going to run. I think it's going to be the guy from California.
Gavin Newsom.
I am
Gavin Newsom, and so I just want to show this real quick. So this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Johnson. Wokeness kills the mind, body, and soul. Look at what wokeness did to the soul in just a few short years. It's true. You know, that's what wokeness does. To your point about Gavin Newsom,
sickness, man.
to your point about Gavin Newsom, I've talked about this before. I'll say it again. Politics, and this is why Trump was able to walk in the door, kick it down, and destroy everything in his path, because politics has never been about policy. It's always been a popularity contest. It's always been about everything but policy. Because going back, so as I've said, I said this right after Trump won the election in 2016. I said, we live in a country where Donald Trump has a better chance of winning the presidency of the United States of America than becoming Batman in the next Batman movie, because we have a higher standard for who plays Batman than we do who runs our country. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to Donald Trump, as much as I'm saying that the political system is broken, and it has been for a long time. Donald Trump just came in and blew it up. And so you go back, and one of my earliest memories of, politics is following politics was Bill Clinton in 92. You know what I mean? That's when I first kind of was aware of stuff. And I remember Bill Clinton became popular because he played a saxophone on Arsenio Hall, and he had sunglasses on, and he took the world by storm. It wasn't because he was a governor. It wasn't because of policies. So he was the cool president, and he was advertised as the first black president. That was a big thing back then. And putting the saxophone, or putting the shades on, playing the saxophone, Arsenio Hall puts him over, and that's how he got onto the radar of everybody. That's a fact. That happened. And for those of you that are old enough in the audience, remember that. You remember this. This is how Bill Clinton became Bill Clinton. Not on policy, not on accomplishment, not on what he could do for America, because he was cool. And then the next person up, who was the next person after Bill Clinton? Was it George? It was George W. Bush. Yeah, George W. Bush, because that was the Al Gore, George Bush. And of course, why did Bush get elected? Because he was the kind of guy you can have a beer with. He's a good old boy. And it's like, he's a fucking idiot. Like, he's failed at everything he's ever done. But he had a president's name, and he was a good old boy. It wasn't because of policy. It wasn't because of what he said he could do for America. Why did Barack Obama get elected? Community organizer, one-term senator. Got up there and spoke in his written speeches, spoke beautifully, magnificently. Oh, the media loved him because he had the race card that they could apply to it. And that's what it was. Like, Obama gave a speech at the Democratic National Convention years prior, and it was a big speech, and they put him over. Oh, this guy's passionate. He's the next rock star of the Democratic Party. Why? He's a one-term senator and a former community organizer. Why is he the next rock star? Because it has nothing to do with policy. It has everything to do with popularity and what the media wants to push out there. And so, obviously, Trump now walks in and kicks the door down and blows up the whole system. So to your point, that's a long way of getting to your point about Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is a horrible person, but he's also exactly what people will fall for, because he has the look. He's got that politician look, and he knows how to work it. He does have charisma. It's evil charisma, but he's got charisma. And he 100% is, like, if they were not going to run Biden, then it would 100% be Gavin Newsom.
Well, we talked about this too, not on air. Was Howard Dean, is that his name? Who was winning until he was like, Pyah!
Yep.
And then They were like, "Dear God, that's scary," and everybody ran from him. Dude, you talk about someone that crashed and burned in 24 hours. That, whatever speech he was giving, man, he was like on his way, and then it crashed and burned quick.
Oh man, it's scary, man.
Howard Dean, yeah.
Howard Dean, yeah, Howard Dean, and he was on top. Look at this. How many of you have seen American Psycho?
Oh, it's great.
You've seen American Psycho, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I'm gonna return some videotapes.
Here we go.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no.
I live in the American Gardens building.
Oh no. Oh no.
On the 11th floor. My name is Patrick Bateman. I'm 27 years old. I believe in taking care of myself. In a balanced
I'm not gonna play the whole thing, because I'll probably get hit.
So good. I'm just saying, think about it. He'll win California. He'll probably pull off some other states too. New York loves him. I don't think Biden. I think the party will be like, here's some ice cream over here, buddy. You did a good job. And they're not going to run Kamala.
Dude, Kamala Harris.
There's no way that she would be the front runner.
Look, man, I may pull a Hollywood actor card on this and go, if Kamala Harris wins, I'm moving out of the country. Like, holy shit, bro. Like, I can't imagine that cackling hyena actually being the president of the United States of America. I can't. Like, it's terrifying.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Truly terrifying.
That's my prediction. I hope I'm wrong, but I think when it starts to get going, it'll because Newsom's already taking shots at DeSantis. Like they're already like they've had some clashes, like some big time clashes back and forth. Newsom's like telling people in Florida to move back to California. We got Disneyland open now. We've got this. There were already like some fighting, but you want to know what's funny? When California was locked down, Newsom sent his entire staff to Orlando for 3 weeks on California's dime. And they enjoyed Disney World. And then when they got caught, they came out and they were just like, well, we were seeing how they ran, their parks and their hotels. So when we open up, they'll we can have some guidelines and stuff. They were at the beach. They went to Tampa Bay. They went for 3 weeks while California was shut down. They came to Florida. It's these people, such hypocrites, man. And how many people have we seen on CNN and AOC and all them? Florida sucks. Don't go there. Yet a week later, they're sitting on a beach in Florida, drinking out of a coconut.
Don Lemon and his boyfriend.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable.
Sad reality of where we are. And I know a lot of people have probably seen this, but I want to play it again because because this is kind of what this whole stream started out with tonight. And I meant to play this earlier, but this person. I will probably get kicked off YouTube if I say what I hope this person, but this person.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
I wonder if the parents of the victims of the Nashville shooting today would still have their children if these trans bills in Tennessee were never a thing. I'm not a parent, but if I were, I'd be real mad at the government. I'd be real mad at the government.
These people vote, man.
Yep.
That's the issue right there. These people freaking vote.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
See, I know, like, this TikTok bill is garbage. Like, it needs to be thrown away. But like, if they just had something simple where they're like, we're just gonna like turn off TikTok in America, like that would be because of people like that. You're kind of like, yeah, you know. But maybe it's a good thing because they out themselves as who they really are.
That's why I think it's a positive, because it does. I mean, you're able to out these freaks for what they are and who they are. And my goodness, man.
Yeah, but you should see the comments on that on TikTok. People are clapping.
I know, that's the scary
They're
part.
cheering that on, saying, "Yep, yeah." It's so now they're saying if you don't pass these trans laws, government. I'm just saying, but I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, like the press secretary had a lady putting up guns. If you're a transphobe, guess what's coming? It's like, wow, now you're threatening violence, you know, which they've always done. But it's just like, it's crazy.
Yep. There was one more I was looking for, but I can't find it. But yeah, I mean, these people are just deranged. So deranged to another level that I don't know, man, you know, but what I keep saying, it's why I think without a shadow of a doubt, there's only one man that we can vote for that can turn this thing around. I really felt like it was going to be like DeSantis 2028 after that, but now I have no idea. And that's kind of what's depressing because it's like, man, like, what am I missing? How that could not be the perfect scenario of Trump DeSantis 2024, Trump, to win in 2024, DeSantis be the VP, 4 years of Trump DeSantis, let Trump handle foreign policy, let DeSantis handle, everything here. And then DeSantis gets 8 years and everything is rolling in the right direction. Like that is a perfect fucking scenario.
But I will say this, like, when it comes to politics, there's always surprises when it comes to that. The Republicans will fight it out, and then Trump will I got a cool announcement to make, everyone. Look who it is. It's like it just seems like that's how it happens sometimes. Like they've got to do it this way to win at this level, at that one level, and then then everyone's like, all right, well, he won at this level. Let's all get behind him so we can take the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the only guy that transcends any of that is Trump because it doesn't matter. Like this dude could have been running for president since he was in his 30s, probably, and won, or at least been a contender. You know what I mean?
If they have a bloodbath, DeSantis, Trump, right? And Trump pulls out on top, and then he makes him his VP. The first question is, I thought you hated him. Well, we talked. I kind of like him. I kind of like the guy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even with Trump, like Trump and Rand Paul, remember the stuff Trump said about Rand Paul, and about how he looks. He went after Ted Cruz's wife. You know what I mean? Like, he was brutal, but once it's all said and done, but I mean, like I said, Trump was sharp as hell back in the day. I mean, obviously in his 70s now, but like he's the guy that transcends it all. And but yeah, I mean, I don't see them repairing this one. Though.
Listen, man, he picked Mike Pence. He can do
much better. Yeah, he can do much better, and he can do whatever he wants. But Carrie Lake might be the right pick. It's
possible.
Carrie Lake might be the right pick because I've been saying prior to what's been happening recently, I was just like, I don't know if Carrie Lake is the right choice because she doesn't really bring anything extra that Trump already, like. I'm not saying she doesn't bring anything to the table, but what I'm saying is she's basically a female version of Trump, which is a great thing.
She's a fighter, man. She's a freaking fighter.
But what I know about her is that she will always back Trump.
Yeah.
She won't back down at all. She's got bigger balls than DeSantis, unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
Like she just does. And that's where I'm at with it. So I'm all aboard the Carrie Lake hype.
I just love that she is a freaking fighter. Like even now she's still fighting, and it's like it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's like she doesn't quit, and so like that's a good thing to have, man. That's a good thing, especially now in these times. Like
Yeah. And I saw someone ask me in the chat, what about Matt Gaetz as VP? Look, I like Matt Gaetz a lot. I think he's got a lot of baggage that would probably come with them with all the stuff that they, of course, he has been exonerated and everything, but
Trump might
I like
pick his son.
I mean,
You just
with
never
Trump,
know.
dude. Honestly, I wasn't even aware of this, but like Trump could be VP after the 4 years.
I
Then
know.
whoever, he would probably do it.
I know.
This man would be like 80, 82, 83 years old, and he would be the VP, and I bet he would do it. So give it to Matt Gaetz, and then let Matt Gaetz run in 2028 and bring Trump as his VP. And Trump would be like 82, 83 years old or some shit, running a VP and still running the fucking country. Could you imagine how that would melt people's brains if he did that? It would melt their brains. Oh my God.
I'm gonna share something in the private chat.
All right. By the way, how are we looking on Beard of Shame tonight, Hailstorm? Oh, I think he put B right back in the private chat. He did. Damn it. All right. Let's see.
Our president has an announcement.
Oh no. Is this real? Is this real?
Yeah.
Oh God. Here we go. Here we go.
It's so bad.
We could just give him the Beard of Shame every night.
I know.
No, we didn't vote Hailstorm. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Let me start by.
It gets better.
It's reminding me of you.
I was about to say I can feel him a little bit on the coffin. So.
Hello, everyone. Let me start by apologizing for the slight cold I have. That's the only thing that's happening to me these days.
That's the only. Dude.
What the fuck?
What is happening?
Hello, everyone.
It's not funny.
I know it's
but it
not,
is funny.
But it is.
It's sad. It's sad.
Hello, everyone.
Oh my God, man. We are fucked. We are
I'm
so
telling
fucked.
you. The comments are like freaking gold, man.
We Hailstorm, we have not voted. So did you hear my suggestion earlier with that one guy?
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good idea, but it's like, I don't know if it'd be that funny. It's funny that he's gotten us so many super chats, though. What a fucking weirdo. So, chat, start telling Jay Hailstorm some of your ideas for a Beard of Shame tonight, and give me 4 top options, Jay Hailstorm, and I'll put it to a vote. Deal?
Deal.
All right. Hello, everyone. All right, let me read a couple of these super chats really quick. We got, okay, where we at? Enoch Aman says, your channel is propaganda. I obviously don't really think that. I just want to see that Chubster run into the car again. Hey, man, I'm a man of the people. So here you go.
Damn!
It's so perfect. It's so perfect. Brockatron. Oh, I got that one. Kai L says this snake pit grows. That's right. Snake pit rise up. It's been a great night. You guys have been awesome. I really appreciate it. And man, awesome stuff. Love seeing all the enthusiasm in the chat. Let's see. Valkyrie winner. This isn't propaganda. Oh no, Jeremy just can't say my name right at all. Well, you say it, Jay.
What, Valkyrie?
No, I don't think it's Valkyrie. That's not how you spell Valkyrie, is it?
I don't know
Valkyrie.
what you're looking at.
Here, right here. Say that, Jay. Right there, private chat.
Valkyra Winter.
Valkyra. Is that it? Valkyra. Okay. Valkyra there. Fine. All right.
Is that right?
Valkyra. Or is it Valkyrie?
She'll have to tell me
Valkyrie?
if it's right or wrong.
I'm not as bad as Gary with the horror armor.
Oh, that was brutal.
I'm still wrong.
That's Unicron's left nut.
Valkyra. Is it Valkyra? Is that right, chat? Valkyra.
Valkyrie.
Valkyra. I got it right this time. Valkyra, right?
I'll just call you Val for short.
Valkyrie. I'm so sorry. I appreciate all of your support. I'm not intending to butcher your name.
Yeah.
Stacy S for 1999 says, thanks for the propaganda, Jeremy. Hail Snake Pit. Thank you so much. Hayden for 20. In 5 months, it will come out that the FBI was in contact with this person on Discord or something. That is true. That is true. Every single person in this chat is saying to pronounce it differently.
Yeah, I know.
You guys
That's the
are not
problem.
helping me. Guys are not
Someone
helping.
said Val Kilmer, Valhalla balls,
Oh, no,
Wakanda.
no. Hang on. Where is it at? Right.
I'm suing you. I'll just call you Mr. Winter.
I just said V Winter. Valkyra Winter. That's what I think it is. I think it's Valkyra Winter. No bullshit. This chat's to, oh, there it is right there. That's it right there. Meek. This chat has, like, there's almost as much chat about this name as Meeks. So I apologize for butchering your name. I genuinely do. Please don't sue me. You're a supporter. I don't want to roast you over that. I'll roast these weirdos that come in here though. Yeah, but in terms of what Hayden said about the FBI was in contact with this person on Discord or something, I mean, honestly, that we've seen that so many times. We've seen that so many times, and so I wouldn't be surprised at all. Sir Yuzaban, remember Captain Price's message about truth spoken from Modern Warfare 2? This is why facts, no matter squeamish people don't matter. I think squeamish people needs to be addressed, and truth matters. Captain Price, Modern Warfare 2. I was talking about Modern Warfare 2 the other day, and was talking about the memories of, like, you know, because I worked for Home Depot at the time. Shout out to the forklift driving man. I worked in the lumber department, and no matter how stressful my day was, all I needed to think about was going home and play as the Modern Warfare 2.
Bro, the lumber section is always the worst. There's always some guy pulling out the lumber and trying to make sure he got the straight piece.
The thing about working at Home Depot, like, so it's weird because there's two interactions you have with a customer. All right. There's me, the Home Depot employee. Hello, sir. May I help you with anything? And he just looks at you like the meme. I know more than you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, fuck. I'm a contractor. I've built 14 houses. Don't come up to me, young buck. You don't know. You know what I mean? So it's like they give you that look like, don't ask me if I need help. I know more than you. Okay. There's that. So then you're like, okay, well, I just won't ask people. I'll just wait for them to ask me. Then you have the guy comes up to you and thinks you know everything about everything that's building, codes, everything. And I'm like, I have no idea what you $10 an hour employee here. I don't know.
I wear an orange.
Like, yeah, it's one or the other. There's not like any just basic question. There's the guy that knows everything and he don't need your help, so fuck off. And then there's the person that thinks you know every single thing about everything. And yeah, there's just no middle ground at all. So
you have any pine? I need to get pine for my deck. I ain't using no oak. I need some pine.
They'll come at me with a 5-minute question about this project, and I'm just like, let me get somebody else. I don't know what you want.
My first job was at a movie theater, and I got fired in a month. I let my friends in for free. I got caught. I went to the
Oh.
next day. They put me on popcorn. And then I was like, I've never done this before. They're like, just fill up the bags. And then I got home and there was a voice message on my mom was like, the theater called, said that they don't need you anymore. I was like, ah, dang. Oh, well.
The worst section at Home Depot is the plumbing section, because you have all of those, like everything is so tedious over there down those aisles. And so typically even the plumbing employees stay away from it. So if you're an employee walking by with your orange apron, and it's like everybody would avoid the plumbing section. I mean, like we'd go a long way, because if someone, excuse me, sir, like, fuck, you know what I mean? So, but working retail back in the day was a lot of fun. I did have a lot of fun. I don't think I would have fun now, but I had so much fun, dude. Like, and look, I was, I was in my late teens, early 20s. Basically how the day with the stocking goes is I'm on the aisle stocking, or if in produce or something, and one of the guys comes, hey, bro, go down to aisle 6. She's banging ass, bro. And then you see like all the guys throughout the day, every time there was a hot woman, like all the guys would just be walking over, kind of walk down. Hi, ma'am. Did you need any help? Like all day long, every hot woman would get asked like 10 times if she needed help, because all the guys in the store, like, oh, hey, aisle 6, man. Badass tits over there. Like, it's what we do. You know what I mean? And
I don't know. All the pretty girls from my high school showed up. I'm like, you can watch any movie you want. Just remember, I'm the one that let you in.
That's all the dudes would do. That's all we would do.
Like, Jay, and then you give me some Twizzlers. Like, I'll try.
It's like that meme. There's a meme, and I wish I could find it, but it's a picture of a guy walking up to a retail employee. He's like, excuse me, sir, can you tell me where the potato chips are? And it shows a guy being like, not my problem, bro. And then it shows a woman asking, excuse me, sir, can you show me where the potato chips are? And it shows a picture of the guy like standing in full armor. He's like, ma'am, I will battle to the depths of hell to help you find whatever you need, because that's how dudes are.
Jaded said, stop watching Jeremy, so he has to go back to real work.
Oh, man. Marcel says, Jeremy and I would have great retail stories to exchange. I have loads of hilarious stories to tell. Oh, man, yeah. Like back in the day.
Stories, man.
Back in the day, it was just so fun, man. And I'm assuming everything is really politically correct now. And
it was fun until someone had like diarrhea in the toilet, and they always go, hey, new guy, got a hot one for you.
Like it was, I will always remember the shoplifting situation back then, because so my first job was I worked for a company named Food World, which is part of the Bruno's company. I don't know if you remember Bruno's. You remember Bruno's? You remember Bruno's?
Do not.
I mean, I don't know if they were like, so they were definitely in like the Southeast, and probably all in Tennessee, definitely down in Florida. I don't know how far west.
I was in Miami. I don't know if it was that far.
Maybe not down to Miami. I think they went down to Central Florida for sure. But Bruno's was a huge company, and Food World was one of their main branches. And so I worked for a company named Food World back in like the mid 90s, late 90s. Yeah, it's like late 90s. And, back then, like, I swear, man, like the shoplifting was off the charts because we could fuck them up.
I know. That's what they would.
God.
It was up to you to stop them.
Oh, God, dude.
Like,
so
hey,
our policy was all we would do. Our whole policy was this. So that was back when the cigarettes were out on the sales floor. It wasn't like behind the shelf. So like the cigarette, tobacco, all that was on the sales floor, and so we would see people walk in, and yes, we would profile the hell out of people. And like, hey, you see that guy walking, keep an eye on him. And you see him pick up a pack of cigarettes. Okay. And the rule was, okay, if he picks up the pack of cigarettes, one person stands up front and keeps your eye on the cigarette, rack, and make sure he doesn't come back. so that if this guy walks around the store, eventually when he comes up front, if he doesn't have the cigarettes, then we say, what did you do to those cigarettes? And if he's going to say, I put them back on the shelf, you're like, no, we have a person that watched the shelf. So that means you set them down somewhere in the store or you have them on you. And that's how we knew we would get them. So sometimes they would fess up right then. Sometimes they would walk us around the store. Sometimes they would run and we would tackle them. Like when I first started there, I thought my managers were psychopaths because I'm just a bag boy. And I'll never forget this. Store manager, like I'm bagging. It's like 3 weeks into the job. Okay. I'm like bagging groceries, got my shirt tucked in, got my name tag. Hi, ma'am, just company guy. And I'm just bagging groceries. I don't know, just doing my job, paper or plastic, And the store manager, he was like 6'8", he's a big bald guy. And like I just turn around and he's got a guy like dragging him across the floor by his arm on the front end. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? And everybody was just business as usual. I mean, a few people were watching it, but I'm like, "What? That was awesome. What happened though?"
Crap out of him, man.
And about next thing you know, so they go to the office and they're in there for a minute, and all of a sudden the store manager opens the door back up to talk to the office that were like right outside the office. And he's telling the office to call the police. And this guy comes running out of the office and the store manager grabs him and throws him back in there. And the door shuts and I hear a bunch of commotion. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's amazing. But I'm scared. Like, what's happening? And so then the police come and they escort the guy out. And about 30 minutes later, now again, 3 weeks into the job, maybe, and I may be awful. I was fairly new. I'd never spoken to my store manager, and he was a big dude, and my first job. And next thing you know, I'd never heard my name over the intercom or anything like that. And all of a sudden, it's ding, ding, Jeremy Griggs, come to the office, please. What the fuck? What? So I'm just like doing the nervous walk to the office. He's
gonna beat you up.
And they have to click the button for me to walk through. And I like, yes, I'm not gonna say his name, but like, yes, sir, Mr. So-and-so. She's called me to the office. He goes, shut the door, Jeremy. That's your name, right, Jeremy? Like, yes, sir. He's like, I need to talk to you about what you saw out there. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I turned around and saw you dragging this guy across the front end. And then when you put him in the office, then you came back out and it looked like you put him in a sleeper hold. And next thing I know, he was kind of knocked out and you called the police and he goes, sleeper hold. I'm like, yeah, like in wrestling. He goes, you watch wrestling? I'm like, yes, sir. He goes, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wanted to powerbomb that son of a bitch so bad. I'm like, what is happening right now? And then we became friends because he watched wrestling because this was back during the WCW Monday Night Wars with WWF. And he talked about a powerbomb. I'm like, you watch wrestling?
That's
your
pretty
store
cool.
manager. So yeah, so that's how the whole thing happened. You know what I mean? And from there, like eventually I kind of got into the beating up shoplifter stuff but there was one time. So this guy went to the back of the meat department. He went to the back and the meat department was in the back. And this dude was fucking big. He was a big old boy, like tall. Like he was very tall and he was a big boy. So the meat department managers, now back in the day and probably even today, like meat department managers are usually good old country boys. They're usually these good old boys. Hey, I'm going hunting this weekend, baby.
They know how to cut up a pig
good old
and a
boys.
deer. Yeah,
good old boys. And so I'm up front. I didn't see this guy come in. All right. But the meat department manager calls on the PA, Jeremy, red line or whatever it was. Hey, what's going on, man? I'm staying. He says, where you at? I said, I'm up front, man. I'm helping run the front today. He goes, there's a guy coming up front. He just picked up some ribeyes. If he don't have him on, if he has them, if he doesn't have them, stop him. Me and Johnny, I'm just using names right now, but me and Johnny will be on our way up front. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. And I saw this guy. I was like, oh fuck. And he didn't have. I'm like, there's nobody up here for backup. And I'm like, So I was like, fuck it, you got this, bro. You got this. You got this. And he's just walking, like slow, confident walk towards me. And I'm just like, excuse me, sir. Need you to stop for a moment. Need to see if it, boom, and a hand just goes right to my fucking throat and just walks me back to the front end glass, casually, calmly, no aggression. He just grabs me by my throat and just slowly walks me back to the back glass. I couldn't do anything. He just caught me blindsided.
It's ma'am.
Yeah. And the meat department guys kept running up there and grabbed him. It took 3 guys to pull him off of me. And we literally had to hold this man until the police got there. And he was calm the whole time. And the worst part of it, because again, I was like 18 or 19. Okay. And all these other guys were like, 20, 30, 40-year-old men that were in there. And we're all like, I'm kind of the young guy. We're holding this guy, waiting for the police. We're restraining him. This motherfucker looks over at me. Hey, you all right, son? I'm like, motherfucker, such disrespect. So yeah, man, it was
That's
wild.
What I'm saying. Like,
wild.
imagine that guy screaming back in those days, "It's ma'am." He would get beat up. He would never come back to the store. Or like this whole cake business. I'm not making a cake because you're gay. It's like, we're gonna sue you. That would never happen back in the day. It's just
It's
like
wild, man.
Or
It's
those
wild.
videos we see from California where people are just stealing stuff in front of everyone.
Mhm. Yeah.
That would never happen, man. Never.
I heard now again. So I'm being super. Like, I could tell you guys I experienced this story. I did not. I heard this secondhand, third hand, probably. So I can't confirm this is real, and I question if it's real. But of all of the shoplifting stories that I saw, it's not outside of the realm of possibility. But my store manager was very much like he was actively. I'll tell you one story before we get to the one that I can't confirm. This one happens just so we can set the table. So this guy came in the store and picked up a pack of cigarettes, walks around the store, and it was me, my store manager, and a couple other people. And the guy walks up front and we confront him. My store manager, who's super tall, like 6'7", 6'8", or wherever he was. And this guy, probably my size, 6 foot, 6'1", whatever. And let's just say he had his pants sagging, okay? And he's walking up, and my store manager stops. Excuse me, sir. What'd you do with the cigarettes? And he goes, I ain't got no cigarettes. And my store manager goes, what's down there in your pants? And he goes, that's my dick. You want to grab it? And my store manager grabs him by the back of the neck, turns him around. He goes, we're going to have a conversation. And we're walking, and my store manager pushes him and then runs to tackle him to give the idea, like he made him run, and he jumps on him and tackles him. I'm going, what the fuck is going on here? This is crazy. And of course, everybody jumped in and, got him arrested, all that good stuff. I tell you that story to tell you the story that I can't confirm, and I question if it's real or not, but I don't know. All I know is my store manager liked to do wrestling moves on shoplifters. I saw this happen many, many times. Okay. So I don't know if this is true.
They all did back in the day.
I know, but I don't know if this is true or not. What I was told because back in the break room stories, and they're like, yo, hey, and we're just talking about the store manager and how he would do wrestling moves on him. I was like, it's the craziest shit I've ever seen. They're like, you heard about the gumball machine? I'm like, no. They're like, so apparently a couple of years ago over at the, so I worked in Panama City, Florida. So there's 3 locations in Panama City, Florida. And they were like, oh, the location over in Callaway, and they were like, so Mr. So-and-so, there was a shoplifter. At least they were told there was a shoplifter. So they confronted the person, but they didn't give the person really time to respond. And so the person was being very resistant. So they put him down on the ground, and one of them tried to put him in a leg lock, but they couldn't get the leg lock fully in. So Mr. So-and-so jumped off of the top of the gumball machine and dropped the elbow on him. The part of the story that's doesn't work for me though is they said that this person turned out to be a handicapped individual and that's why he couldn't respond. That was the story I was told. I don't know if that's the case, but without no, if I know nothing about this, I wouldn't believe the story. But with the things I witnessed, I guess there's a slight possibility it could have been true. But the handicap part kind of throws it off.
Hey man, we
but-
saw people back in the day doing elbows off everything. In the classrooms, man, in school, like they just did not hold backs, man. So that there's probably probably did happen.
Hey, listen,
That Macho Man elbow was famous, man. You
It
just
was
get
famous.
Up there,
It was
and then
famous.
It's just,
It was famous.
everybody wanted to do that. In the swimming pool, if we had a swimming pool, you jump off and you elbowed the guy.
There was one time. So I worked at the beach store in Panama City during spring break, and I can tell you point blank, we caught so we had a walk-in beer cooler in the store. Now this is spring break in Panama City Beach, spring break capital of the world there back in the 90s and 2000s. I caught so many people fucking in the beer cooler.
Yeah.
And you may go, hey, that sounds awesome, Jeremy. Party on. And I'm like, you don't understand. None of them were attractive. None of them were attractive. And that's the sad part of it. I wish I could have given you a story of like, well, there's this hot chick. They were all fat and ugly and redneck as hell. And that's the sad part of it. Oh, no. Yeah. Like, you got to understand, this is spring break. Spring break in Panama City on the Strip.
Wasn't that the birth of Girls Gone Wild? I think.
Yes, that's where that's where a lot of the Girls Gone Wild stuff was filmed. That's where like you had Spinnaker and Club La Vila. You had MTV down there all of those years. Like it was wild.
Different time, man. Different time.
Wild. And
that was like the big thing. Like, you didn't want your like sister or girlfriend ending up in the Girls Gone Wild tapes from Florida.
No. And again, as I say this as someone like I grew up in Panama City, and I never drank, never did drugs, never partied. It was very tempting with all those hot chicks out there, but I never got into that world. But spring break out there was wild, man. It was wild.
Bull Bear, the first 800 number I ever called was Girls Gone Wild.
Hailstorm. You used to hang out in PCB back in the day?
Yeah. That was a different time.
It was a different time. So you could back up all the stuff I'm saying about how PCB was wild.
Yeah. I was
No, I believe it. The spring break would always move around in Florida. They trash one town. They came to Fort Lauderdale one year, and MTV was like there when I lived down there. Oh man, they trashed it, and like the ordinance was like no more spring break in Fort Lauderdale. So then they went to the Keys. They trashed that, and there was like an ordinance they can't do it to the Keys. They finally ended up going to Mexico because like Florida didn't want that MTV week anymore.
Yeah.
Because like they just kept trashing the town. So
well, like I have so many stories of retail. Like, do you remember when the seafood department used to have like live lobsters,
Yeah.
Tanks. So like when I was a manager, we used to at the end of the night, like when it's closing time, we used to get the lobsters out of the tank and we used to gamble and we used to like pick a winner.
And race them.
You know what I mean? It was the best thing ever. We used to play hide and go seek in the store after it closed. Now, do you know what a baler is? Like for a cardboard baler, where like it has the piston that crunches.
Oh yeah.
You have to put the wire around it. So our baler at the store I was at, it was a baler that you like. Some balers is where you throw the cardboard boxes in and the piston comes down. But this one was a little bit older model. So it was where you throw the cardboard boxes over and then the piston comes from the side.
Yeah.
And crunches all the boxes. All right. So we used to play hide and go seek in the store after hours and we'd gamble on that, like, $20 you find me or 50, whatever. So I found a good place to hide in the baler, and I would always hit the kill switch because there was a kill switch up top. And so I would hit the kill switch at the beginning of the night, like when we start doing the hiding, and I would hit the kill switch and I would always hide in there, and I would put a few boxes over me. So if you look in there, you would see boxes so that nobody could find me. Well, apparently motherfuckers that I was working with, they figured out what I was doing, but they didn't want to expose me. They wanted to play a trick on me. So again, I hit the kill switch at the beginning of the night, just in case anyone comes up and, turned it on or whatever that was still there after hours. So they figured out what I was doing, and they're like, hey, that son bitch is in the baler, but he's hitting the kill switch. So when you go, so essentially their plan was when it's my turn to go find them, they would at least go over there and turn the kill switch back on. So then when it's my turn, I would go over there and I'd get into the baler, but the kill switch, I'm assuming, was hit, but they had it turned back on. So I'd get in the baler, put all the boxes, and then this asshole walks up and turns it on, and nothing was going to happen because it's very slow. So it's not like, the baler moves very slow.
It's like Star Wars trash compactor.
Yes, it's very slow. So this dude, like, he turned it on, and they say white men can't jump, bro. I jumped out of my fucking clothes, the thing that turned on, and I jumped, bursted through the boxes, and they're all just standing there laughing at me. If there would have been smartphones back then, it would have been the greatest viral clip ever. You know what I mean? Scared the living hell out of me.
Of course.
So, yeah, but
I'd be too scared to hide in that.
Ah, man, I never hit it again after they turned off the kill switch on me. I was like, all right, I'm never getting in there again. But yeah, it's
different
fun,
time, man.
Different time. I remember when I remember when I worked. So I worked for Food World for all of those years, and eventually the company shut down and everything like that. I went to work for a company that I'm sure a lot of people are aware of. This company, Publix. I worked for Publix. Okay. So this is what's weird about Publix. So I worked for Food World. I started out as a bag boy at 18 years old. I was the number 2 manager in the store before I turned 20. So I was a co-manager of the store before I turned 20 years old. And I worked my ass off. I worked 80, 90 hours a week. I worked off the clock. I did whatever it took. I was 100% dedicated. I was good at what I did, and I would do whatever it took to make sure that store ran as efficiently as possible. And that was when I was a little wet behind the ears, and I felt like it mattered. And then I realized later on that it never mattered.
We were taught that.
Yeah. I learned that it doesn't matter how much work you put into corporate America. Corporate America will chew you up and spit you out. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much blood, sweat, and tears you give them. They do not care. So don't put all of your passion into corporate America. Use them for whatever you need, but understand that they will chew you up and spit you out the moment you are not useful, or that they've made decisions that are going to impact the bottom line. And so for me, I worked for Food World for like 6 or 7 years, and that was my first job and my only job. And I was used to that world of use you, abuse you, don't care about you, whatever. So then I went to work for Publix. Whole different ball game. Like Publix, when I worked for them, it was like, hey, Jeremy, have you taken a break? I'm like, what?
Yeah, none of that.
Taking a break? No, I just take a break. It's okay. I'm like, really? Oh, okay. I guess. Like, how long has it been since your last break? I'm like, I don't know, like 2 hours, 3 hours. Oh, you need to sit down. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So they wouldn't let me pick up heavy boxes. Like, hey, do you have your pickup buddy with you? I'm like, what the fuck's a pickup buddy?
It's a code. It's it's what they had to do. You had to take breaks.
Yeah. And so Publix, like, they cared. And I'm like, this is weird. And I always
No elbows off the gumball machine, that's for sure.
I basically apply it to that whole argument of like a woman that's in like an abusive relationship, and then she gets out of it and she finds a good guy, but she's so used to the abuseful relationship, so she gets rid of the good guy and goes back to an abuser. That's how I was with the retail world. Food World abused me badly. And so when I found Publix, they cared about me, and they were like, no, we care about your physical beings. And, what the fuck? No, I need somebody to abuse me. So I found Winn-Dixie, and Winn-Dixie was happy to abuse me. And I went running to Winn-Dixie.
Oh, Winn-Dixie.
So yeah, Winn-Dixie, I was like, I go there. They're like, hi, here's a box cutter, not a safety cutter. Because see, Food World, I had a real box cutter. Publix gave me a safety cutter. And I'm like,
plastic
safety cutter? What's a safety cutter? I need a real box cutter that I can cut things with. So yeah, man. So funny. But I didn't mean to go on a tangent about retail, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. And retail stories. That's what Jay does to you. Jay makes you tell all these crazy stories. I blame Jay for that. And that's okay.
Sorry.
So did you guys enjoy that? My first job was bagging at Winn-Dixie. Yeah. Bro, bagging, it was so funny. So when I bagged, I became a bag boy at first. And 90% of your interactions are great. But there's always the super dad. And you're like, paper or plastic, sir? And he's like, step aside, young.
Yeah,
buck.
yeah.
Turns his hat backwards. He's like, let's go. And he's, that's how it's done, boy. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I bagged groceries for 3.5 years down at the farmer's market. And I'm like, okay. But now I'm kind of like that. I'm like, don't bag my groceries like that.
Go right
So,
ahead.
yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, there was always the professional bag boy, and he's just like, step aside, young buck. Turns his hat around backwards, gets in position.
Makes it happen, man.
Oh, man. It's
I
good
just
stuff.
When those people would show up where I were, I just stood there and looked at them, just like I do at everyone else, even today. And then when they're done, I don't even like. They're like, "We did it better than you." I'm like, "Thank you." I just let them go. I don't know how to handle that. It's like they're doing my job, but whatever. It's like, okay, thank you.
I heard that. Zanaximus gifted 5 D-Day Cobra memberships. Thank you, Zanaximus. We got Lying Dogface Pony Soldier gifted a D-Day Cobra membership as well. We are at 72 for the night, ladies and gentlemen. 72 for the night. Johnny the Wiz Kid, we have bad people running our country. Scary. That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Hayden says, I think one of the 9 girls killed ran to a fire alarm and pulled it to evacuate the school. I haven't confirmed, but she needs to be remembered if that's what happened. And Jay is saying that definitely did happen.
I did hear that on the news today. So
man, it's so awful. It's so awful.
Yeah.
Let me see where I'm at. Johnny the Wiz Kid says the Nintendo eShop has shut down on Monday. Do you have any memories of shopping for 3DS or Wii U games there? Also, don't forget Rumble chats. Yeah, I saw JM the Elite Fan over there on Rumble lighting it up. Thank you, JM the Elite Fan, going on rant. I will get to those soon, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, I didn't do a lot of I do remember Miiverse on the Wii U, but I didn't do a lot of digital shopping per se. I did enjoy Miiverse. I thought Miiverse gave the Wii U a great personality, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, it had a cool personality to it, and I know a lot of people are gonna miss it. So I didn't do a lot of shopping on there per se, but I did play some online games But yeah, it sucks. I was in a retro store just yesterday, and they were jacking up the prices on all the Wii U and 3DS games because the market has completely exploded for that stuff. Hayden says, no, I'm chilling for a bit. LOL, stupid. Like I said, I'll be fine. That was earlier. I remember that. Anthony says, my birthday on March 31st tomorrow. I'm going to be 26 years old. And Jeremy, keep it going. We must put out all the woke people through the table. Hell
Happy
yes.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Anthony. Good luck on your podcast, buddy. Alexander says, swig of water for the haters. Put a 1 in the chat if you love the USA. Let's go, Snake Pit. So Alexander, who's a member of the Snake Pit, says, put a 1 in the chat if you love the USA. Let's go, Snake Pit. Alec Baldwin's finger, I got that one earlier, and Alec Baldwin's finger dropped the 50 gifted subs earlier.
Pity.
Janan says Audrey went to an MA first, saw another school first, saw armed guards, then went to her second target, which had no armed guards. Armed people stop these situations. 100%. 100%. Yep. Chris Varcella, funny they couldn't release the manifesto by this tranny. You said tram, I said tranny. Because they sure as well released the manifesto by the killer who killed Muslims in New Zealand right away. Oh yeah, I mean the media is the enemy of the people. They are the enemy of the people. By the way, smash the melee button if you don't mind. Simple request from a simple man. Swig of water for the working man. Hayden says, it would cost nothing compared to what we give Ukraine or spend money elsewhere to arm a vet at every school in the U.S. Agreed. It wouldn't be hard. Protect kids. Agreed. Stacy says, this is how they will push facial recognition. That's from earlier in the stream. Thank you, Stacy. Stacy's been a big supporter.
TikTok stuff. Yeah.
Saltysaurus Rex for $20. Jeremy, I think the politicians are leaving our schools defenseless on purpose. Just recent in Boston, since they removed resources, officers and metal detectors for kids four kids have been stabbed shot with homeless living in the schools. Wow. That is awful. Thank you for that information. I will look further into that. I personally think, I don't know, man. Sometimes I wonder how much impact we could have, but at the same time I think we could do some cool things, man. We got a passionate community here, and I don't know, man. I'm just frustrated and I want to do something to help. I'm very frustrated at what we're seeing right now, and it's disgusting. Grizzly Nightmare, I sent you a meme to your Twitter DM. This will be the downfall of the left. I think that's a very I hope so. But we got to stay the course. JM the Elite fan over on Rumble with a Rumble rant. $5. Biased opinion. I'll admit I'm aligned with Ripa's views on cops, but I don't buy the just doing their job angle with any law enforcement. I hear you on that. And JM, so I got several from JM the Elite. We're going to read them all. So many multi-part rant. Apologies for the verbose comment. In doing research for some creative projects, I've found that Ashtar, the Babylonian fertility goddess, possessed the ability to transform men into women and vice versa, and her priests were predominantly homosexual. She later entered the Jewish Christian beliefs as Ashtaroth, one of the highest of the fallen angels. Guess what? The modern LGBT movement advocates. Melanie Mack has a video talking about how the woke movement is satanic, demonic. That sums it up perfectly. And then that's a 3-parter from JM the Elite fan, who always supports us over on Rumble, and I greatly appreciate that. And then JM the Elite fan says, Jeremy, Tyrone's a good man who's too busy raising organized chaos kids to go MILF hunting. Ain't no way he'd be banging that dude's mom, LOL. Thank you, JM the Elite fan. And Johnny the Whiz Kid over on Rumble. Tim's videos has made me worry about this coming weekend. I really hope no one gets hurt, but can you check out my post on Snake Pit, please? I believe we have a nominee for Beard of Shame. I'll see if Hailstorm can look over there in the Snake Pit Discord and check that out if you're not part of our Discord. So we have the Geese Gamers Discord. And then within the Geeks and Gamers Discord, we have the Snake Pit, and you guys can join that and have whatever conversations you want about everything going on. But thank you guys for that over on Rumble. I greatly appreciate that. Here we have, I got that one. So Christopher Arcella says your channel is propaganda, Jeremy. I love you, Chris. Jake the Movie Geek.
I'm gonna let you finish.
You're leaving me?
Yeah, man, I'm sleepy.
All right.
It's 2:30 in the morning.
No, man, I'm messing with you. Jay, it's always great to have you. Tell them about your Indiegogo campaign.
Achromatic Chronicles Blue. We wanna make the change. We're doing it, man. And we're almost at 75K. It's pretty awesome. You got about 20 days left to pick up the book, and then it's going right to print, and we're getting them out. And we're just having an awesome time, like meeting all these different creators and promoting the book and stuff. So I can't thank the G&G community enough for everything. So pick it up quick before it's gone. Believe me, you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it. Thanks for inviting me on this is my favorite live stream because I don't really talk politics anywhere else. So it's pretty awesome. Thanks for the invite, boss. While you finish reading your super chats, thanks to the idiot that showed up earlier.
Helped make some money. So
yeah, exactly.
Just for Jay and just for that idiot, we'll play it one more time.
Damn! I just like these, like, she's gonna fall again. So there's somewhere out there's another video of that lady falling.
Oh man. Have a good one, brother.
Anyway, nothing but
Appreciate
love.
you.
G&G, baby. See you Saturday if you come out to MegaCon.
Let's go. Everybody go support Jay over on Indiegogo. He's the man. Appreciate him. Subscribe to Drunk 3PO as well. We got Jake the Movie Geek says for Madi 10. That's a $5.99 or $4.99 super chat for Madi 10. Madi 10 getting destroyed. Are you regretting that one yet, Mighty 10? You made me a lot of money. You made me a lot of money just for being dumb, you know? Christian Rocker, $2 for your propaganda. Sophie for $2. Propaganda. Honest Jerk, as someone that works selling freedom and 2A advocate, I feel people are going to be racing to the shop to buy a new pew pew. 100%, man. Brown Gaijin for Mighty 10. Arthur Brown, just to piss off the troll. Hayden with that Hundy. Oh, Mighty 10 wants to cause a scuff. Well, here's $100. Why not? Hayden's awesome. Alec Baldwin's finger dropped 50 gifted memberships through all of that. This is what happens when you show up to the snake pit. The snake pit is not too kind to those trolls. Again, you can come in here and say whatever you want. That is not the problem. You can come in here and say whatever you want. I'm just not going to protect you from the snake pit. And that's what happens. So there you go. Anthony says Jeremy's the best. I appreciate that. Luke H says something propaganda. Gonna go Mac. Jay is about to kick Madi in the black bathroom. Russian bot. Watch Uganda banning LGBT. It's worth it. Oh, video? I'll have to check that out. Hayden for 50 says be mad. Enoch Naman Abuser Streamlabs, your channel is propaganda. I obviously don't really think that. I just want to see the Chubster run into the car again. Brockatron, I got that one. Brockatron, I think. Yeah. Well, let me read that one again. $22. You may not agree. I think Dems and rhinos don't want to protect children because they want to use tragedies to take our God-given right of 2A. They don't care about children, nor do they care about most people. I did get that one. I did answer that one, and I appreciate that one, man. Got that one. Christian Rocker, Madi 10 just got snake bit. Damn right. Love it. There's Kai L for gifting 5 D-Day Cobra memberships. Thank you so much. Goofy Foot says most of all the school districts here in the Panhandle of Florida have armed constables. Some of the SBs in backpacks. Not happening here. And that's the standard that has to be implemented. Our children are too damn important. And yes, we as a country can afford it. And they're worth it. And anybody that says they're not is a fucking horrible person and a very evil person. Bethesda's lore master, a member message. Biden telling jokes about ice cream before he knew the cameras were on after the shooting told the story. Couldn't care less. 100%. Alec Baldwin's finger for 10. Get a pistol, practice with it, wear it every day. If your state permits it, I feel naked without mine. Florida just passed constitutional carry. Arizona was the trendsetter for that, by the way. You're welcome. I love Arizona, man. I hate that you guys got screwed over. Let's see. Kakatogi Road. I try to not mess it up every time. Hail Cobra, the tide is turning. The atmosphere right now reminds me of right before Trump won in 2016. We must keep fighting. I agree. Magnum Norris, dude, the Fox guy is trying to stop Trump from becoming the greatest president ever. Magnum Norris, it's called ideological subversion, straight from the communist playbook. And then Magnum Norris's Yuri Bezmenov tells it best that we are way past the fourth phase. That is a great video. Brown Gaijin, AB 665 will allow schools to send children to mental facilities without parents' knowledge. Californians need to call their assemblymen to stop this. 100%. Alec Baldwin's finger for 10. The press only puts on serious face when it fits their narrative. 100%. Hayden for 75. You can't say read the room with Biden. That room is a gathering of monsters. Very true. And I missed that one earlier, but thank you, Hayden. Elsid Barrett, Jay, you don't talk bad, you talk badly. Daryl Greer, Drunk 3PO, not always speak word good, should do learn. Bird Up, Clinton playing the sax on Arsenio Hall was enough of a cultural movement that it was even referenced in the opening theme of Animaniacs. Oh, yeah, it was huge, man. That was such a big thing. Andrew Lundell says Biden's response to the East Palestine's derailment and Nashville school shooting proves Biden has nothing but contempt for the American people. Absolutely agree. Anthony says, I sent $5. I got it earlier, buddy. Magnum Norris, what? Fuck, it just jumped on me. Where did it go? Where'd it go? It always jumps. What a chum swamp munchkin, says Magnum Norris. Burrito Man becomes a member. It's a member message of 2 months. Thank you, Magnum Norris. I say separation of state and any fed via Texas coin. They will not allow Trump to be elected even if he wins. It's a scary reality that has to be at least acknowledged for sure. A piece of peace. China is using TikTok to destabilize the U.S. kids. Fictitious Dan Savage. Presidents can't run for lower positions, right? From what I understand, Trump can run for vice president after his second term. If I'm mistaken, the chat can let me know. But from what I understand, Trump, a former president, could then be vice president. Unless I'm wrong, chat, you can correct me if I am wrong. GM Steelhaven, Beard of Shame nominee, Josh, what's her name? The communications agent of Arizona governor. Hail Snake Pit, hail the fellowship, hail Cobra. Thank you. Eric K. Jeremy is a name is confirmed. Shellback TJC, dear God in heaven, I think we all know how to stump a grade school teacher, an Alabama man. Thank you. Correct. So a lot of people are saying that is correct. So okay. Christopher Arcella, Jeremy and I would have great retail story exchanges. I have a load of hilarious stories to tell. I feel you on that, brother. Russian bot 86. Look up the Ugandan LGBT ban. It's so based. They don't care about representation. All truth. I'm going to check that out. Let's see. Bro Buffett says, please stop butchering it. It's Valkyria. Valkyria. Is that it? I was saying Valkyra Winter. Valkyra, right? Valkyra Winter. I said it, right? I can't trust the chat. Valkyra Winter. I'm going to have a Discord call with Valkyra Winter. Just to apologize. I'm not trolling at this point. Like, I think it's Valkyra Winter, but I don't trust my chat. Magnum North says, I love the beard and Biden face. How are we living in a world where these things would be banned? Jeremy was a gangsta job. Oh man, I love you guys so much. Magnum North says Scott Steiner is a mathematician according to Google. You damn right he is. I want to play that clip. I don't know if I can, but I would love to play that clip. Zanaximus, D-Day Cobra story time has been great. Very fun to listen to. I did not mean for the show to go off on that tangent, but honestly, that's what D-Day Cobra will always be about. Like I have a lot of different interests, but this is the place where like I have so many channels, so I can't really talk politics anywhere else. So I talk a lot of politics, but it will evolve into different random stuff. You know what I mean? This channel will just continue to evolve and we will talk about stuff. So I assume you guys enjoyed the stories. I appreciate it if you did. I had a lot of fun with that. And yeah, I didn't mean for it to go off in that direction, but it was pretty fun to talk about it for sure. Keck Lord Gray, sorry, Snakes, too late for me. I played music gigs for 35 years. Gotta go. Hey, man, no problem. Hope you have a good night. Ruthie, Star Wars for Life. Jeremy, I'm at work listening to your crazy retail stories. They're really funny. Thank you, Ruthie. Shellback TJC, cool story time, bro. Now read my super chat, you grifter. Not this one, the one you missed. I just got it, Shellback. Magnum Norris says, I never realized how fruity you are, Jeremy. Need to find the black in back bathroom. Anthony says we got to get the resistance of America and Australia. Stanford Deb against the woke activist and the mainstream. 100%. Magnum Norris says apologies to Gary for insulting his guest Aiden, but I just didn't like what she had to say. No problem. I mean, look, I wasn't on last week. Aiden's cool, but I wasn't on last week. But I will be back on Friday Night Tights this week, so I don't know exactly what was said, but we know how the game goes. Everybody's opinions are valid and we recognize them. So no apologies necessary. Drunken Yoda, to the first responders, I salute. Absolutely. Let's see. Basilic says, any expectations for Star Wars Celebration this year, Jeremy? It's do or die for Star Wars this year. It will be interesting to see what happens. I am kind of really disconnected. I do feel that I owe my audience to at least pay attention and give you guys feedback on it on the main Geeks and Gamers channel. So I do expect they're going to announce these movies, 3 movies, and I think it's going to be a disaster. I think that they're going to try to get a pop, but I don't think there's going to be a huge pop. So I'm going to be paying attention to it. I will be doing updates on that. And I think I owe it to our audience to continue to follow Star Wars to the best of my ability. I cannot watch these shows or these movies right now. I can't do it. I just don't have the passion or the interest for it at all. I hate what they have done to Star Wars. But in terms of the news cycle stuff, I have no problem following that and giving you guys updates on it. But I despise what Lucasfilm has done to Star Wars and Disney has done to Star Wars. Kevin Cleary, I've learned a lot from Geeks and Gamers and Friday Night Tights. It keeps my spirits up here in woke Portland. Family and job. Great job. Keep me here. All hail and keep fighting. Hey, man, stay safe out there, brother. Stay safe. Magnum Norris is Scott Steiner. Oh, I got this. A mathematician, according to Google. Keenan says, Jeremy, do you like A&W? You mean like the root beer? I don't really drink root beer, so I like Dr. Pepper. I like Mountain Dew. I like vanilla Coke. I like IBC. I like their cherry drink. IBC has like a cherry drink. So yeah. I think that's it. We do have Beard of Shame, ladies and gentlemen. We do have Beard of Shame, and I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. I don't know who the Beard of Shame is. I have no idea. Are we gonna have our first back-to-back hailstorm? Do we have a back-to-back?
We just might.
I think we're gonna have our first ever back-to-back Beard of Shame winner. What's up, Jed? You still hanging with us, buddy?
I'm still here. Just doing super chats.
We got J-Rock. Hashtag BLFM. Never forget. We can save Bree's feet. We have the technology. God damn it. J-Rock, you almost like my stream almost got struck for showing Bree's feet. Okay. It almost got struck. That's how bad it was. All right. YouTube contacted me. They said that there's some really disgusting images on your stream, but I was like, hey, it was worth $100 super chat. All right. So we got tonight's Beard of Shame winner. and it's a repeat winner, which is shocking, actually. So we've got our first repeat winner ever for a Beard of Shame, the most highly anticipated award on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. So I think it's our first back-to-back winner. Is that right, Hailstorm?
Might be.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Drum roll, please. Here we go.
Yeah. Fuck you. Heartfelt.
Hello, everyone. Let me start by apologizing for the slight cold I have. That's the only thing that's happening to me these days.
All right. That was good, Hailstorm.
Yeah.
That was good. Here we go.
Yeah. Fuck you. Heartfelt.
Hello, everyone. Let me start by apologizing for the slight cold I have. That's the only thing that's happening to me these days.
All right, that was good. That was funny. The cough adding the beard. That was pretty
something stuck in his throat.
All right, that was good. Well, great job, everybody. Great job to the Snake Pit. Great job to these guys right here. Great job to the mods. Again, you guys make this show happen, and I really appreciate all of you. So we're going to wrap it up now. I hope you guys had a great time. I hope you enjoyed the show. Smash the melee button if you have not. Let's get us to 1,000 likes. We have not hit 1,000 likes yet, but we're almost there. Thank you to Jay, Drunk3PO, for stopping by. Great to have him on as well. Other than that, thank you for everything. Super chats, for the comments, for the gifted memberships, for the likes, for the lurkers out there. You're appreciated as well. You are a very important piece of this puzzle, as you always will be. There is no way. What did I miss, Lost Tales? Sorry. Well, maybe you can maybe next time. You absolutely, yes, I will make sure Jed and Hailstorm are keeping up with Snake Pit, and we'll make sure. I'm sorry. So so much to cover, and we went off on a tangent on retail. So, but thank you so much. Look at that. V Winter, who I'm intentionally not saying I don't want to mess it up, but I think it's Valkyra Winter, and I'm so glad that Valkyra Winter is not mad at me, because I'm not trying to troll. So shout out to you for the gifted memberships and for being a good sport. That I am just retarded, and I'm sorry that I'm retarded. Jed, how do you say it?
I've got no clue. Valkyria?
Hailstorm?
I'm just going to let you keep trying.
Luke A says this stream's going to get wild closer to the election. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I love you guys so much. All right. Have a great night, and we will talk to all of you later. Good night, Snake Pit. Rise up.